think a lot of elevation of his pitches, and we see home runs. Usually the pitches are elevated, the slider, the fastball is not sinking as much as we saw at the early part of the season, and I think that's one of the biggest difference for Andrew. He needs to get the ball down to get the hitters to chase. We're going to show the strikeouts of the Tampa Bay Rays. He needs to pitch so that they're swinging at pitches out of the strike zone instead of leaving them right in the middle.
Now, if you're into strikeouts and into home runs, well, then you're going to be loving this series, because both these teams do a lot of both. And, you know, hey, that's the way it is with these guys. It's really working for the Rays. For the A's, they just need to manufacture runs more, but the A's hit the long ball as good as anybody.
Well, let's hope that the A's hit the long ball, but the strikeouts, they hope that Andrew Triggs gets those, because if the right-handed hitters are there, he needs to throw the slider so they chase it and get the strikeouts. If they're going to be aggressive, they're going to hit home runs, but they're also going to strike out, and that's one of the things that helps the Athletics, especially someone like Andrew Triggs, if he pitches like we've seen him.
All right, so it's Triggs and Alex Cobb. That's the pitching matchup in Game 1 of this 4-game series from Tropicana Field. Now, up next, we'll check back with the A's pregame live studios and then lineups and first pitch. It's the A's and the Rays coming up.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Jack in the Box. Come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich. Limited time only.
Welcome back to Tropicana Field. That's the starting pitcher tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays, right-hander Alex Cobb. And we got a big league debut. Jacob Bruckman, he's going to be in left field tonight for the Athletics. He's going to bat ninth, so we're looking forward to that. Good luck to that young man. We hope he has a terrific big league career and it starts.
Absolutely.
Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is open daily. It's nice and warm and muggy outside, 86 degrees. We are, of course, inside. Tropicana Field is a dome. So as the A's open up this Florida road trip, let's look at their starting lineup for game one of this 4-game series. It's brought to you by Southwest Airlines. And here it is. Rajay Davis will be in center field. Matt Joyce played a lot of years here with the Rays. He's now in the A's uniform, and he'll play right field and bat second. Then it's Lowry. Chris Davis will DH. Yonder Alonso's at first. Healy will play third tonight. Vogt will catch. Pinder's at short. And Jacob Bruckman is your left fielder.
It is Alex Cobb making a start. First time since August of 2014 against the Athletics. Of course, coming off Tommy John surgery, 4-5 record on the season. As my partner said, he takes a lot of time. You can just see that delivery right there, how much time he takes to deliver the ball. But good split finger fastball for his finishing pitch, fastball, and his curveball. But A's are seeing him for the first time in a long time.
Here's the defense for the Rays. Rasmussen left. Malik Smith, speedy young center fielder. Steven Souza's in right. Longoria, Beckham, Robertson, Morrison third to first with Jesus Sucre doing the catching. And we are set for baseball. First of 4. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, it'll be 2 games set in Miami. So that is the 6-game road trip for the Athletics. So Alex Cobb sporting the number 53. He kicks and deals the first pitch of the game, and it's tapped foul right at home plate. So 7:10 first pitch local time.
Cap, it's not good that the catcher takes his mask off in between pitches.
We are on Alex Cobb tonight. He is on the clock, baby.
Sucre, the catcher. Derek Norris also catched a couple of home runs last night, not facing his former team tonight.
That one is lofted into shallow left field, and a nice running play by Colby Rasmus. He got a good jump. Looked like it was going to fall off the crack of the bat. So Rasmus tracks it down. 1 away here in the first.
It just did not die quickly enough. Rasmus, of course, playing right and center for the Astros, left field also, and doing that now and didn't even have to leave his feet. Nice play by Rasmus as he took extra bases away from Rajay Davis. Of course, if it hits the turf, I think that's why you'll see the outfielders try to get it before it can hit the turf so it doesn't bounce over their head. Nice applause for Matt Joyce coming back where it all started for him.
Yes, indeed. Matt Joyce for the A's hitting 197. 7 homers and 20 RBIs. Matt Joyce, his best years were indeed right here with the Rays. Remember, he went from the Tigers to the Rays in a trade in 2008. All right, this is what we're talking about. He's on the clock. He is on the clock, folks. Most time between pitches. Alex Cobb is third on the list. 26 seconds in between pitches per average. Now listen, we have fun with it. We also don't like it, but who does? I mean, you know what? If you asked his manager, if you gave him some truth serum, he'd probably say, yeah, I want him to work for it.
Nice.
But the point is 26 seconds.
That's a long time.
That's a long, long time between pitches. So there's the umpires for tonight. That is Jeff Nelson calling balls and strikes. Laz Diaz at first, Doug Eddings at second, Corey Blazer is at third.
And Doug Eddings at second base should have a stopwatch, and as soon as the ball is back to Cobb with nobody on base, he should start it. And if it's more than 12 seconds, it should be a ball. But they won't do it.
That's not going to happen.
No, they won't do it. But I mean, if you're on that list of 4 that takes that long in between pitches, I mean, it's you know, there's different rules, foul balls, you know, but hitter's supposed to stay in the batter's box. But if they want to speed up the game, they could do it with the guy on the mound and the hitter at the plate.
2-2 to Matt Joyce. Got him swinging. So Joyce strikes out for the second out here in the first inning.
I mentioned a split finger fastball put away, but he goes to the curveball and gets Matt Joyce with the curveball right over the top, ends up out of the strike zone at 81. But it has a split. If he has that kind of a curveball, looks like a split, then stay with it.
So there's the breakdown. So lots of curveballs, a fair amount of changeups.
Fastball is 2 and 4 seam, so they throw the sinker plus the 4 seam.
First pitch to Lowry is a bit outside. Lowry at 290 with 7 home runs, 20 RBIs.
I think for both clubs, the last thing they could do tonight is worry about tomorrow, the doubleheader tomorrow, because you know it's so rare, very unusual to play a regularly scheduled doubleheader.
Well, tonight, any 95-mile-per-hour fastball is our fast pitch, brought to you by Xfinity, the fastest Wi-Fi at home and on the go. Your Triggs, he's ready to roll. 1-1 the count to Lowry. He's switch hitting second baseman. And now it's 1-2.
That was a hanging curveball, waited on it nicely, but fouled it back. With the injuries to the Tampa Bay Rays, and of course pitchers coming back from Tommy John surgeries. They have a catcher, was Ramos, who's going to be back eventually or very soon after having reconstructed knee surgery. So Sucre or Norris, somebody's going to have to bite the bullet there. So we'll see what happens, but right now they're banged up. Of course the A's are as well.
Fastball is high, so the count evens at 2-2 to Lowry. Lowry tied for second in the American League in doubles with 18. Healthy and having a good season for the A's. Two pitches popped up foul again.
See the delivery of Alex Cobb when he lifts the leg, a high leg kick, and then kind of extends the foot. A little different look, but he's pretty consistent with his windup. Just get some pine tar. That way you don't have to try to get perspiration off your arm. And here's what I'm talking about. Watch when he comes up the leg kick and then extends again right there. Just a little bit added, so it takes a little bit extra time.
So Lowry's worked the count full 3-2.
The leg kick.
It's a unique motion.
Yeah, it's the straight out, almost a little unusual.
So full count to Lowry. Chris Davis would be next. And this one's popped up, and this could be playable. It will be playable as Longoria waits, makes the catch, and Alex Cobb has a 3-up, 3-down, top of the first inning. And this is their lineup for tonight, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Malik Smith will lead it off. Corey Dickerson having a terrific season. We'll talk about his year as this game goes on. Then Longoria, Morrison, Souza, Rasmus, Beckham, Robertson, Sucre. That's your Rays starting lineup.
Andrew Triggs, first start ever against the Tampa Bay Rays in a relief appearance last year, but trying to get back on track. Of course, he'll be out of the stretch. His record is 5-5. He was 5-2, but of course, the last 3 starts have been losses. Game in New York, gave up 6 runs, only 1 earned, but still a loss. Gave up the grand slam to Aaron Judge. That's where he needs to pitch, right there. You get strikes, you get hitters swinging at it. But better to be down there than elevate the fastball or the slider.
Facing Malik Smith. The outfielder just brought back up from the minor leagues. Playing center field. Devastating injury for the Rays, with Kevin Kiermaier being lost for a couple months with a fractured hip, and he's really one of their better players. So Malik Smith, very highly touted prospect for the Rays, probably going to get a chance to play quite a bit here if he can stick.
Oh, the number 0. It's not 00, just 10. We saw Aaron Judge with number 99, and now we got Smith with number 0.
Pitch is in for a strike, so 2-2 the count. So quite a few moves today by the Rays. So Kiermaier to the disabled, but he's gone for a couple months. Ricky Weeks placed on the 10-day disabled. Taylor Featherston is here. He's back in the big leagues, came in a trade, and Malik Smith brought up. So a lot going on today for the Rays, but it really all has to do with, starts with the Kiermaier injury, and that's going to hurt them.
Yeah. Well, Gold Glove center fielder, and this is something that you don't want to try this at home, because it's either run through the bag. You definitely don't want to slide, because the base will not move. It did not. His hip did. But sliding straight into the bag, and he wanted to try to avoid a collision, but he could have hit the bag and veered off to the right to avoid a collision with Abreu. But when you slide into the bag, it's not moving. It's going to be all on him, and it was, and just was not good when he saw it. But could have gone to the right, tacked the bag with his hand, could have done a lot of things instead of sliding straight through.
This one is popped back straight foul, and it's remains a 3-2 count to Smith. Dickerson to follow, and then Longoria. Pitch number 8 coming up in this at bat, and it's high, and the speedy Malik Smith is aboard. So the A's, of course, made the transaction today. That's Jacob Brugman. He was brought to the big leagues for the first time, so he is a big leaguer. Congratulations to Jacob Brugman. Mark Canha was sent back to AAA. Mark Canha just continues to struggle offensively, and Bob Melvin talking highly of Jacob Brugman today, and I think maybe the biggest reason he's here is that he can play all 3 outfield positions. He's a legitimate center fielder.
That's the center field. As Mark Canha was trying to play center, but it did not work out especially well for him. So Brugman will get a chance there. Right now, the concern is Smith at first and his stealing attempts. They may not wait around.
So Smith aboard for the Ray that's having a terrific season. Corey Dickerson. Dickerson hitting .335. Smith has a big lead at first. He gets back.
3 for 3 is Smith, and Jeff, a fine stat man, told us that White Sox shares, they were 7 for 7. So they are. That's not good, because the high leg kick for Triggs, and that's something that will not help a catcher with the high leg kick. Delivery, slide step there, which helps.
0-1 to Dickerson. See if Dickerson will let Smith try to steal a bag, although now he's behind in the count 0-1. But
I think a lot of times for a left-handed hitter with a runner at first base who has a green light, you'd rather have third base coach tell him that he's going to run, so at least he knows at that point to take the pitch.
How about the lead?
Oh yeah, I know.
And that's what, if you get a big lead like that and you make any break towards second, you get a chance to get picked off.
Well, Alonso said, wait a minute, so stay off the mound for Andrew Triggs while the skipper was looking at it. He thought he got it because he was leaning, and well, the left hand maybe got in. He checked the left hand. That's a pretty good move because he kept his right hand.
That is a good move.
Yeah, kept his right hand from going. If he goes straight to the bag with the right hand, he's out.
It's probably the best way to do it.
Absolutely,
if you think about it.
Yeah.
But he has a huge lead. That's as big a lead as we've seen a runner get. Not running. No one pitch is lofted down the left field line, but it's going to be foul. Let's check out the A's defense for tonight. Showed you Jacob Porkman. He's in left field. Davis in center. Joyce in right. And Healy, Pinder, Lowry, and Alonso around the infield with Stephen Vogt doing the catching. So 0-2 to Dickerson with Longoria to follow. Dickerson with 13 home runs, 26 RBIs. Dickerson, how about this, Ray? He leads the American League in hits. He leads the American League in total bases. He leads in doubles. He's third in runs and third in batting average. So only Segura, who's on the disabled list, and Trout, who's on the disabled list, ahead of him. And those two guys are going to be out a while. So at some point, they'll probably drop out of contention by losing at bats. You got to have a certain amount of at bats to be a qualifier.
And Segura just signed his long-term contract.
Yep.
Good shortstop, and of course Trout already signed to a very long contract. He's going to be a free agent at a very young age. Pitched out on the 0-2. Of course, Smith was not running.
And he's not running this time. The ball's hit in the air to center. Rajay Davis backs up. And Smith
went back too late.
Yeah, I think if he had to do it again, just watching him, I mean, it was pretty evident that Rajay Davis was going to catch it, but he just went back too late.
And kind of a defensive,
read it better than that.
Absolutely, a defensive swing for the left-hander and getting under the ball. And you know, a hitter sure has home run power, but straightaway center was difficult. He got almost to second base and then went back, but by then Rajay is already under and was throwing the ball back in. Now this is a test right here for Andrew Triggs against the right hand. They got Morrison lefty, no on deck circle. Really a lot of power in the middle part of the batting order. Longoria fewer home runs than any of them.
Longoria takes way outside. Pitch cast brought to you by Penn Fed Credit Union. So here is Longoria. 248 with 8 homers, 31 RBIs. Always puts up good numbers. Very consistent.
Oh yeah. Franchise player. He's here as long as they want him here, and he wants to be here. The question is now, does Smith attempt to steal? Because Longoria, you're always concerned if you're on base that his power, gap to gap, he can hit home runs on off-speed pitches, mistakes. And sometimes a base runner will not attempt to steal, although the lead that he continues to get at first. Oh my. Wow, he broke on first move.
Early in time, and it wasn't going to matter. Well, Smith with the stolen base.
He actually left too soon. All Triggs had to do is step off, and they would have nailed him. But Triggs, as he looked back to the plate, Smith took off. See if you can see it. See there? I mean, he was off and running, and Stephen Vogt should not even have thrown. Almost threw it into center field. But Stephen Vogt just a step and throw, and not even a crow hop. Just no chance to get him.
So the count 1-1 to Longoria. Pitch was called strike. A slider that kind of sat on the inside corner. Longoria has 249 career home runs, so he's closing in on a milestone.
Yeah, he's been on that for a little while, but A's would like to keep him there for the weekend.
Now 31 years old. Chases the slider down and away. Longoria strikes out.
And that's the chase slider. That's what Andrew Triggs needs to do. especially against the righties. Throw it down, throw it out of the strike zone, try to get him to chase. And for Andrew Triggs, he had a couple of pitches to waste. This one just down, and so that's almost like the pitch he threw and threw consistently against the Astros. And for the Astros, that was a game that he struck out 9, did not walk a batter back on the 29th of April. The point that the hitters could not pick up the spin on his breaking pitch.
So here's the cleanup man, Logan Morrison. Big, strong left-handed hitter. 236 is his average. He's got 16 home runs and 37 runs batted in. Morrison having a pretty good year.
Compared to last year?
Slow start, at least.
Oh, my.
We were here.
Yeah.
I want to say it was early May. Does that sound right?
Yeah, it was in May, and actually mid-May. And after we left, he had no home runs, no RBIs his first 29 games. 129 batting average. When we came in here, he had 0, and we couldn't believe it.
It's hard to do.
Neither one.
He wasn't a part-time player.
No.
He did get better, but when it was all said and done last year, he hit 238 with 14 home runs, 43 RBIs in 107 games.
And this year he's already surpassed his home run total for the year. Just like Yonder Alonso, we talk about him, but same for Morrison, although Morrison throughout his career had some pretty good home run numbers. Yonder having a tremendous season for the Athletics.
1-1 pitch runs off the plate. In fact, Morrison was a free agent at the end of last year and decided just to stay with the Rays. He signed a 1-year contract, $2.5 million.
And it would not be a bad idea, Cap, with first base open. You got the right-handed Souza, and of course after the slider's thrown to Longoria, maybe the better way to approach the Rays in this inning.
Keeping it outside, 3-1 the count.
The fear here and coming in to talk to him, or maybe changing signs. Maybe he sees that Smith is doing something. Usually when the shortstop comes in, that's an indication that something might be going on, but at the same time a catcher would go out and discuss maybe changing signs.
So see what Triggs does on 3-1. Pinder holding Smith close to second base. Doesn't matter, he goes anyways. The pitch is outside. He walked him. It's going to be a stolen base for Smith. So to be first and third.
Time now for the Nissan keys to the game, and of course this is always a good one. We've talked about it, unfortunately, too much, but pretend you're at home, because the A's have not played well on the road. At home they have. And for Andrew Triggs, he's got some extra rest. He pitched a week ago, so getting back on track after losing the last 3 games, and maybe just what he did to Logan Morrison could be helpful. He's got the right-handed Souza, who's a good hitter himself, but an opportunity with the right-hander to try to get him to chase a slider, and that would be a good first inning for him.
Souza, 10 homers, 33 RBIs. 10 doubles, got a triple. So lots of power. Big, strong guy. Strikes out a ton.
Yeah. And that's what you like. And if that's a consistent theme tonight, then that's...
I think I'm going to say that more than once.
I like that.
He's got 71 strikeouts in 202 at bats.
Wow.
So that's more than a third.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. Morrison runs. Souza hits one high and foul. So 0-2.
Well, we're talking about the keys. How about Andrew Triggs on 4 days, 3 starts, 5 days? How about that? 4-2 with a 1+ ERA. So he is on that right now. He's 7 days. Last pitched against the Nationals in Oakland.
Well, you know, Ray, with the doubleheader tomorrow, I mean, that can screw up a team's rotation, but it's not going to with the A's because they have had yesterday off and then they have Monday off.
Right.
So it's really not messing with them at all.
You look at Sonny Gray, who's pitching tomorrow. He's already getting an extra day rest because he pitched last Sunday. And Manaea's going to get an extra day. So actually Manaea's on turn, and then Sunday Hahn will pitch. So I mean, it works out, like you said, perfectly for the A's.
1-2 pitch blocked nicely by Vogt, saves a run. So a lot of pitches for Triggs here in the first inning. 25.
Stephen Vogt, this is when you anticipate a breaking ball in the dirt. Watch how he moves to his right. He anticipated it, got his body in front of it, so he not only used the catcher's mitt but his body as well. That's the time when the runner first should take off, because you're more concerned about the runner at third.
That one is hit to left, and it's hit a ton. 3-0 the Rays lead here in the very first inning. Looked like a slider that just fell right over the middle of the plate.
And look where this location is. Look where Vogt wants it. Look where it is, right in the center of the plate. And that is hitting me all over it. The kid was 1 for his last 24, and he got a hanging slider and 2 walks in the inning. They come around to score on the 3-run home run. And you know, we just talked about the chase pitch that he had with Longoria, got him to strike out on a pitch out of the strike zone. But Souza very strong, and instead of getting the strikeout that Triggs wanted, got the 3-run home run. It's too bad.
Here's Rasmus. Well, we say this a lot, Ray, and Triggs throws a lot of sliders, and that's fine. Guys who throw a lot of sliders, and your relievers, you see them come in. Even guys with the great sliders, if you throw a lot of them, somewhere you're going to hang one.
That's right. Yeah, it's a mistake. You're right.
You throw 5 sliders, you could throw 4 really good ones. You're probably going to hang one. Yeah. It's just it's hard to throw a really good, perfectly placed slider every time.
Exactly. Yeah,
and boy, if they sit on the inner half of the plate, just kind of float up there.
And if you're big and strong like Souza, you can do what he did. And really, he provided his own power, because it was a floating slider that just came right in the middle of the plate. Not a good way to start this 4-game weekend series.
One and 2 to Colby Rasmus. Well, that home run, there's I don't know, I'm guessing maybe 15-20 rows of seats out there in left field. Then there's a walkway, and above that walkway there's more seats, but those seats are covered with tarp. And that ball landed above the walkway onto that tarp.
Yeah, the Rays sign is in left field.
Blocked again by Vogt. So the count is full to Colby Rasmus.
Well, that's the numbers that guys put up for good, because of the 4 days versus 5+. And you could say that guys want to stay on regular term, but the extra rest, especially for someone who has not been on the rotation that much, and Triggs making his 12th start, probably could use the additional rest. Got it, and walked the first batter. A couple of stolen bases, another walk. Actually, the only hit it's given up has been the 3-run home run.
So 32 pitches here in the first inning. Who knows, maybe the long at bat to Smith, the first batter he's facing, had something to do with this inning. High in the air to left center. Playable. It's going to be Bruckman who grabs it side retired. Steven Souza, a 3-run homer here in the first inning. So the Rays lead 3-0 after 1.
July the 3rd, following the A's versus the White Sox game, fans are invited onto the field for a fireworks show that proudly represents America's birthday. For tickets, visit athletics.com/tickets. That should be a great weekend. 3rd and 4th. 3rd is a Monday night, then 4th is a Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the A's off to Seattle before the All-Star break. That is the hero right now. Souza Jr. And boy, the ball jumps out of this yard too. All you have to do is get it airborne. You got a pretty good chance to do something with it.
Tropicana Field. So we were told that this is new turf, right?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, it looks like real grass as long as you're not down on it.
Yeah, once you get close, you can tell it's not real grass. Davis, Alonso, and Healy, the big power hitters for the A's against Cobb. 1-1 to Chris Davis, who's DHing. 227 with 17 home runs, 38 runs batted in, tied for 2nd in the American League in home runs. Davis one behind the big fella, Aaron Judge, who's got 18 for the Yankees.
And he will be at the Coliseum next weekend. A lot of folks from Linden, California, up in the valley, probably be down to see the big boy play.
Pitch, slider away. So Joey Gallo also has 17. We just saw Justin Smoke having a terrific season. He's got 17. Then Alonso, Morrison, and Springer with 16. There's your American League home run leaders. Some new names on there, huh?
Yes, the biggest one is at the top of the list. Because with Judge, and we saw him firsthand in New York hitting the ball opposite field of Yankee Stadium. That says a lot about him.
So 3-2 to Chris Davis.
Morrison peeking in, trying to see the sign from Sucre as catcher. Fastball in.
And it's off the plate, and Chris Davis walks.
That's a little bit of a shock. He's got a very good two-seam fastball. He threw 2 very good strikes to Chris Davis outside corner, yet went inside on the 3-2. A little surprising.
Davis is aboard, first base runner for the A's. And here's Yonder Alonso. There's the A's trying to figure out how to get better on the road. They're 8-20 on the road. That's the fewest road wins in the major leagues. This is the 5th road trip that the A's have gone on this year.
The Diamondbacks, I see 24-8 or something like that. It's unbelievable.
I mean, there's some teams that got unbelievable road records. Yeah, the Astros are 23-8. Minnesota's 18-8. Colorado's 22-10. Those are road records. First pitch to Alonso was blocked. So the A's, again, this is road trip number 5 for the Athletics, and this is what they have done on the first 4. 3-3, 2-7, 1-5, and 2-5.
Well, they were happy with 3-3.
They were happy with the first one. Yes, indeed. They played good in Kansas City.
But 5-17, the last 3 aren't that good. And just won the first game in New York that Friday night. Looked like it's going to be a good road trip, but then lost back-to-back games in New York. Only one in Cleveland.
Hit high and foul down the left field line. So you keep thinking, you keep hoping that at some point there's a good road trip out there. And you can say, well, if you start looking at who you're playing, I mean, I don't think that's even the way to look at it, because the team you're playing could have a bad record but be hot, or vice versa, right? But it's just, you just need to swing the bats better on the road.
A lot of times too, when you're playing on the road, the team you're playing has a better home record anyway. They just typically play better at home. In the case of the A's, I mean, the teams come play the A's at the Coliseum. How can you think of that?
Wow. Yonder Alonso swings at that nasty off-speed pitch, and that's out number 1. So look at these numbers, Ray, when we're trying to figure out, well, where are the A's going wrong here on the road? Well, Runs per game at home, 4.8. It's not bad. Runs per game on the road, 3.4. Now you look at the ERA, it's about the same. So the pitching from an ERA standpoint, about the same home and road. The difference is a run and a half less on the road. So that's hard to figure out. You want to pin a reason on why they're struggling so much on the road. If offensively they just have not been able to duplicate what they're doing at home, and thus the 8-20 record.
And Ryan Healy just got a hanging curveball that he took. Might not see that good of a pitch again in the at bat, but it was the first pitch offering from Cobb.
And there are 7 teams with winning road records in all of baseball. Bounces one foul, that one running in on him. So 0-2 to Ryan Healy. See the bullpens wide open. A's down the left field line, Rays down the right field line. You're basically just sitting with people out in the picnic area, which is kind of nice.
Get some nachos.
You could have a full conversation, make new friends, eat.
But there's so few and very rare to have a bullpen in play.
Less and less every year.
Cubs moved theirs underneath the left field bleachers. They can't see anything unless there's a TV monitor. God forbid the power goes out, they're in trouble.
But there's a party going. I think there's a party going on down there. And I say down there meaning down by the A's bullpen. It's pretty busy down there.
Yeah, the Arlington Stadium before they got the new stadium used to be AA and sat down similar like that, and they serve nice nachos.
Really?
Yeah. Amazing what you can get for an autographed baseball. Or just a baseball. Didn't even need any more autographs. So just take a baseball.
Here's Stephen Vogt. Stephen Vogt at .221 with 3 home runs and 13 runs batted in.
As you look ahead to tomorrow, we can do it. The players shouldn't, but Stephen Vogt and Josh Phegley will catch one, the other. But Stephen Vogt might DH in the game that he doesn't catch, because otherwise the A's will only have 3 position players on the bench. They've got extra pitchers. Of course, you can increase the roster by 1. That's going to be the pitcher, more likely Sean Doolittle.
Yep.
And then another move on Sunday to put Doolittle back on the roster. But when you have excess of pitchers, you're limited in the number of position players, which means in a doubleheader, guys have to play 2. Ernie Banks.
Vogt hits one very high in the air up near the catwalks. That's Beckham, the shortstop, who gives way to Rasmus. Side retired. So the A's do nothing with the leadoff walk. Bottom of the second coming up. Rays 3, A's nothing. California.com, brought to you by Max Muscle. Log on each week as our A's insider Joe Stiglitz talks baseball with players, coaches, special guests, and more. It's also available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and Spotify. The latest podcast is That Man, Chad Pinder. So Joe sits down with Chad. Pinder playing shortstop tonight.
Had a nice conversation between he and Chip Hale, the A's third base coach, infield coach, about this new turf, and Pinder playing here for the first time, how to deal with the bounces. And turf is usually pretty true.
Over the head. Speaking of turf, true,
Yes.
the top, spongy, all that stuff. Beckham says it's a line drive tomorrow.
That's right. Well, it's nice if you're a hitter to have the infielder playing in and well, actually hit the dirt, still bounced high enough. Pinder put it in the pocket, got no chance to get the Speedy Beckham. It's Rocco Baldelli, the first base coach.
He hit a few of those.
Yes, he did. He could have just stayed healthy. It's illnesses that he couldn't get over.
That's right.
And not just injuries from baseball, but health problems.
Good player, fast.
Yeah. Probably could have had a longer and better career if he'd been able to stay healthy, but still very good.
Hitter's Daniel Robertson, if that name sounds familiar to A's fans. He was an A's minor leaguer for a couple of years. A's took this young man with the 34th overall pick in the 2012 draft, so obviously you could pick that high. Highly thought of. So what the heck's he doing with the Rays, you may ask? Well, it's one of the players the A's traded to the Rays to get Ben Zobrist. Ben Zobrist got the A's Sean Manaea, so it all worked out pretty well. Robertson, middle infielder, getting a chance to play quite a bit with these injuries the Rays are experiencing.
At the same time, Addison Russell went to the Cubs, which meant that two of the top shortstop prospects for the A's had been traded, but Marcus Semien came from the White Sox. He's played well. We hope he's going to come back sooner than later, but hand injuries are always tough, whether you're an infielder, hitter, and right now Marcus just trying to get back.
So it was Robertson, John Jaso, and Boop Powell. We saw Boop Powell with the Mariners. And the A's in return got Yunel Escobar and Ben Zobrist, and then they sent Escobar to the Nationals, right?
And Boog, we go to his barbecue place in Baltimore, Boog's Barbecue.
Sure. Can hit one there. So that's the transaction surrounding Daniel Robertson.
Well, Stephen Vogt looked at his dugout, but bottom line, you might as well get ready to throw. I would think Beckman's going to be on the move.
He is, and the ball's tapped toward Healy. Healy has it. He's going to throw across to first in time to get Robertson, but with the runner moving, Beckham is now in scoring position. So that's the advantage of starting the runner. Keeps you out of the double play and it gets you in scoring position. Doesn't always work that way.
Beckham going head down. You got to find out if there's contact. You're running actually to prevent a double play from being turned. And Kevin Cash, former catcher, and now managing the Rays after Joe Madden went to Chicago, the Cubs.
Here's Jesus Sucre, the catcher. Slider catches the outside corner first strike. Sucre at 224 with a couple of home runs and 15 RBIs. Sneaking in is Lowry at second base, trying to keep Beckham close. Beckham's got good speed. 4 for 5 in steal attempts this year. One misses outside, 87 miles an hour from Triggs. Rays come into this game with a 31-31 record. They just took 2 out of 3 from the White Sox right here at the Trop. In fact, they had a game last night. That is fair. Past the diving Healy and down the third base line. Beckham will score easily. Sucre hustling for second. He'll have an RBI double, and it's 4-0 Rays. So Sucre, he hit it fairly hard, but also in the right spot.
Well, and you look at the location of the pitch and where it was supposed to be, and there's a similar breaking ball that Souza hit for a home run. This pitch not only was middle of the plate, but it was up. And hitters are able to just get the top hand, and that's what Sucre did to get it past the diving Healy. And Rutman threw the ball back in towards home plate, but with a run scored from second easily. That's when the throw should have gone to second, but it's going to be a double for Sucre anyway. So that cap, there it is with the runner in motion, stays out of the double play and puts him in scoring position. Sucre brings him in.
Here's Malik Smith, who had a long at bat in the first inning. He ended up walking. He stole a couple of bases and he scored on the Souza home run. Getting back to the Rays record, they're 5.5 games out in the AL East, so they're really right there. They had a pretty good month of May. They won 17 games in May. So they feel pretty good about where they're at. They're 18-14 at home. And certainly this is way too early to start thinking about this, but the point I'm trying to make is with the second wild card, you're always in it. You know what I mean? I mean,
very much so.
Yeah, they're a couple games behind the second wild card, and again, it's only June, but the point is they have a chance.
Yeah, and they're at 5. They're 500. The Yankees just 5 over.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a tight division race anyway.
Just missed inside. Looked like a good pitch.
Wow. Jeff Nelson getting ready to ring him up.
So 2-2 to Malik Smith. And now 3-2. This will be pitch number 50. Foul.
Through 81 and 3 2/3 innings in his last start against the Nationals. So with the doubleheader tomorrow, and you look at the 7 days in between starts and just 3 2/3 his last start, you'd like to say pitch deep in a game, save the bullpen, because the manager pitching coach have to be thinking a little bit about tomorrow with their bullpen, trying to extend the pitcher, the starting pitcher, a little bit.
Count stays 3-2.
Well, it's something that is very usual for Stephen Vogt to take a foul ball off his body. This is the catcher's mitt, hit off his mask.
Another 3-2. It's a base hit to left field. Sucre will get to third and stop there. So Malik Smith, 2 long at bats. One ends in a walk, the other one with a base hit. So trouble again for Andrew Triggs.
Yeah, very good hitting. He swung at a pitch that was outside a little bit and fouled it back. This one, though, too much in the middle of the plate, and with 2 strikes protecting, goes the opposite way. When you hit it on this turf, I don't care whether it's new, old, or what. But Sucre, nothing he could do, especially with the ball in front of him. Hit hard to Brugman, who throws well. 16 pitches for Smith that he has seen in the first 2 at bats, and this is just the second inning.
So now you got to face Corey Dickerson. Corey Dickerson, this is his second year with the Rays. Last year he had 245 with 24 homers, 70 RBIs, and 36 doubles. So he had a good year. Remember, he was with the Colorado Rockies, and then he was traded from the Rockies to the Rays for the left-handed reliever Jake McGee, who's a pretty good reliever.
Pretty good trade for both teams.
Yeah. Dickerson, a good year last year, really putting it together this year. Just turned 28 a couple weeks ago.
The only reason Smith might not be running so far is to have the hole open between first and second. And that's with a left-handed hitter. A lot of times a manager will keep the runner at first to open up the hole. Otherwise, Alonso plays back.
So 1-2 the count. Concern with Dickerson was, would he be able to hit left-handers, which did not necessarily do that well earlier in his career, but this year he's hitting .342 against lefties, .331 against righties. So that is not an issue. Malik Smith running could be an issue.
And he might be running now. The 2 strikes on the hitter. Take away the hole, not worry about it. As the old saying goes, speed never goes to a slump. And you get a speedster on the bases. He stole 2 in the first inning.
Evan Longoria will be next. Not running. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Dickerson chased the off-speed pitch. And that's a big strikeout for Triggs.
He went the slider and took a little bit off the slider. Good location. And surprisingly, Dickerson no contact. And that's almost like he's swinging for a fastball. Never got it. Wasn't even supposed to be in a strike either.
So now you got to get Longoria a run in on 3 hits for the Rays here in the second inning. Smith runs. Throw to second base is high, and he's got another stolen base. So 3 stolen bases in the first 2 innings from Malik Smith.
Well, and it's going to go against Stephen Vogt with the numbers, but still the bottom line. Surprised he even threw because the only possibility, because Sucre does not run well at third, if he could afford to throw through.
This one slowly hit to the right side. Lowry has it on the first side, retired. A run on 3 hits for the Rays. So we're headed to the third. Jacob Bregman's going to get his first big league at bat. 4-0 Rays.
California is brought to you by Airport Home Appliance. It's back. The Airport Home Appliance Warehouse Sale.
So 4-0, the Rays lead here, and it's the top of the third, so a little work to do for the A's. Plenty of time to do it. It'll be Pinder, Brugman, and the top of the order, Rajay Davis. One walk, 2 strikeouts in the first 2 innings for Alex Cobb. And the first strike to Pinder. Pinder at 227 with 7 home runs, 16 RBIs. 2 hits in his last 25 at bats. And a quick 0-2. That one hit into right field, a base hit. So Pinder on an 0-2 pitch. It was up and out over the plate. And he has a base hit to right field. So a good start for the A's here in the third. And first big league at bat. There he is, Jacob Brugman. That's the family, mom and dad, right in front of us with the striped shirts on. And that is his wife, Allie, right behind with the 2 children. So this is a huge moment for them. And I always like to watch the families because you kind of makes you feel good inside because you know they're into it and they want him to get a hit so bad.
There's somebody rooting for him.
So Jacob Brugman. Take a deep breath. 17th round pick by the A's in the 2013 draft.
Calf injury kept him out of play in the early part of the season at Nashville.
That one is drilled to left field, hit pretty well, but Rasmus is going to get over there, moving toward the line. He's got it. So Brugman's first at bat as a big leaguer is a fairly hard hit ball toward left field, 1 away.
Took the pitch exactly where it was supposed to be hit. Got the first one out of the way. Now looks for his first hit. Nice swing on a fastball. Probably seemed to him like it's 130 miles an hour, but other than that, the veteran Alonso with a handshake. Jarrell Cotton, the real veteran. 15 starts, but that's nice. That's the support from a veteran in Alonso and Jarrell Cotton, who was acquired from the Dodgers last year.
So 1 away, and here's Rajay Davis. Bounce to third, but foul past Chip Hale.
Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, the draft begins, the amateur draft.
Yes. Love it.
So that will be a new crew of hopefuls to get to the major leagues. On the clock.
On the clock. You're on the clock.
On the
A's
clock.
would be on the clock early.
Six choice for the A's, right? It's got a bunch of different ones that they have to see if they're available when it gets to their point, their time. Meetings have been going on all week at the Coliseum.
Yeah, the A's have the 6th pick. That's the same spot as last year. They took the big left-hander A.J. Puck from Florida. They also have, Ray, the 33rd pick, which is a competitive balance pick, which is given to teams, has to do with revenue and market size and all that stuff. And the A's have one of those, and that's right after the first round. So they have the 6th pick and the 33rd pick.
And draft, they're very important because when you have losing seasons, and the A's have had 90+ losses each of the last 2, that means that you're going to get some top draft choices. And you look at the Astros and where they are this year. They lost 100 games in a couple of seasons, got very good draft choices, and those players now are playing at the big league level and playing well.
Yep.
So it's one thing you don't want to lose at the major league level, but if you do, Eric Kubota, the head of the scouting department, all the scouts in for a whole week of meetings leading up to Monday. So we wish them well in their selections.
Tapped foul.
Yeah,
so the A's in the 2nd round, Ray, they'll have the 43rd pick, and in the 3rd round, pick number 81. So what we're basically saying is the A's have 4 of the first 81 picks, and that's a high number.
That's right.
So good luck to the Athletics and Those people working hard in those meetings, and again, the 6th pick overall in Monday's draft, so they will be on the clock early. Before them, the Twins will pick first, the Reds second, the Padres third, the Rays fourth, and the Braves fifth, and then the A's. So those are the 5 teams ahead of the Athletics. So it'll be a big draft for the Rays as well.
And as always, pitching would be top of the list. Sonny Gray from Vanderbilt, big pick. And I've seen some of the top 20 was listed the other day. There, I think there were 2 from Vanderbilt, a pitcher and a position player.
Yeah, there's a pitcher from Vanderbilt who probably going to go in the top 3 or 4 picks.
Yeah.
Is it Kyle Wright, I believe is his name. Big, tall right-hander. His name getting kicked around as maybe the #1 pick.
And the way they slot the money, that's an important pick for the #1 overall. 1965, they instituted the draft to prohibit big bonuses given away. Now they're huge. That is a curveball sign, the 0-2.
Rajay's able to lay off. So long at bat for Rajay Davis. 2-2 the count. Pinder opened the inning with a single to right. Major League Baseball draft is televised now. It'll be the first round on Monday, the first 36 picks on Monday. That's the first round, and then that competitive balance picks. And then on Tuesday it'll be rounds 2 through 10, and on Wednesday rounds 11 through 40. So they break it up, turn it into a 3-day event. You were there a couple years ago, right? You represented
2014.
the Athletics at MLB Network.
The A's select Matt Chapman.
That's right.
And we'll probably see Chapman this year sometimes because he is healthy and playing well. 9th pitch for Rajay Davis coming up, and he started the bat 0-2. So doing a good job fouling tough pitches.
Short lead for Pinder. That one's hit up the middle, right toward the second baseman Robertson, who picks it and throws to first, and that's a double play. Robertson had to handle a kind of a tough in-between hop. He did nicely, and he turns the 4-3 double play. 2011, Bob Melvin was named interim manager of the A's after Bob Garen was let go. He was then hired as the manager on September 21st. He went on to win the American League Manager of the Year award in 2012. He has a career record with the A's of 488 and 480. Well, we remember that day. It was in Chicago.
That's right. And he knew nobody on the team. And he said, I'm glad they had their names on the back, because as they walked by, I said, hello. And
Unbelievable.
that was it.
Not an easy task to take over in the middle of the season.
First time ever for Billy Beane to change managers mid-season. Billy was back in Chicago for the press conference, and Bob Melvin, as I was doing an interview with Billy Beane, walked out, turned around and said, look at my number, 6 for Sal Bando, the captain. He's a good manager, considering everything that goes on in the world of baseball today. But he also likes this clubhouse. Guy Gallagher, who's in charge of the visiting side.
Right. Healy and Brugman, and it's going to be Brugman who catches it. Healy falls down, and Healy, is he getting up? I hope so.
Well, they're friends, and of course the minor leagues together, but the outfielder, of course, needs to call the infielder off as quickly as possible so that you don't have to have the big man go down on this hard turf. And while it is artificial, it's still hard underneath, and Healy going down to the knees to avoid, and that's a hard landing on his kneecaps. And Brugman making the call.
So 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Guy Gallagher on the napkin holder in the manager's office had a picture of the skipper when he played for the Orioles in his catching uniform. And he said, I've never seen that before. But he was very proud, and I guess they find pictures and they do that. So that's how special the clubhouse is downstairs.
So Souza, big 3-run homer in the 1st inning.
The 2 mistakes made by Andrew Triggs tonight, one to Souza and one to Sucre. And both of them sliders that did not get where he wanted them.
And this one's lined to right center for a hit.
Well, the slider that he hit in the 1st inning, not the fastball now, but he's 2 for 2. But this was the big blow. Pitched around Morrison to get to Souza and left the breaking ball in the middle of the plate, and Souza very strong, and that's where it landed above the walkway on the tarped seat area. So a couple of walks to Smith and Morrison, and a 3-run home run by Souza in the 1st inning.
So here's Colby Rasmus with 1 out and a runner aboard. That's 5 hits now for the Rays. And that one is swung on and missed, and a pitch that was very much in the dirt, very much inside. In fact, so much so that it went to the backstop. So it's going to be a swinging strike.
That's called a sweeping breaking ball. It sweeps all the way, almost hit the hitter Rasmus on the back foot. He can't believe he swung and missed it by this much, and ball ends up going to the backstop.
I think he was looking for something.
I think he's looking for either the slider outside or the fastball in the middle of the plate.
So 0-1 the count, but a runner in scoring position. That's Souza.
This was last year with Hughes. Had what, an ear infection that he had to miss some time.
That's right. Missed a lot of time.
Yeah, his equilibrium a little bit off of the ear problem.
Runner goes, and that's going to be another stolen base. Souza takes off, and while he went on the right pitch, obviously Vogt had everything he could do just to catch that pitch.
Well, you see the leg kick, and Souza walking to 3rd. He was going to go regardless.
So that's 4 stolen bases for the Rays in the first 3 innings. I sense a trend, Ray.
Yes.
I sense a scouting report. That's going to drop into right field for a base hit. Broken bat. Good enough to get Souza home. And it's 5-0, the Rays lead.
And Rasmus runs well, so be careful with him. But I mean, there's not much you can do. A wild pitch, a stolen base after a base hit to center, and broken bat, but he got over the infield, and that's what happens. You bring the infield in, allows the hitter to have a bigger area to shoot a ball to, and even though he broke his bat, able to get it in front of Joyce. So
Rasmus gets his 21st RBI. The Rays have scored in every inning now. 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 here in the third, and Beckham will hit. First pitch to Beckham is on the inside corner for a strike. Singleton scored in the second inning. Beckham getting a chance to play a lot, and he's doing a good job. 9 homers, 28 RBIs. Kind of a part-time player for the Rays for the last couple of years.
God, if I can think of 2 players just off the top of my head that played for the Rays, played so well they became free agents. One of them named Carl Crawford, who went to Boston and Los Angeles. They finally let him go. And B.J. Upton, now known as Melvin. But they left, got a lot of money, but nothing. I think that's strike 3. Check swing.
Yeah, they were not going to get anything close to that kind of money here. And turns out it was a smart move to not even try by the Rays. With Beckham, I mean, really the reason that he's getting a chance to play a lot is because guys that were ahead of him are hurt. The Rays they're all banged up.
Brad Miller.
I mean, for their record and where they are, they're having a pretty good year. If they could get everybody healthy, they got a pretty good team. I mean, the list is a long one of injured Rays players, whether it's position players or ours. Boxberger, a couple years ago, Boxberger led the American League in saves. Now he's getting close to coming back. Cedeno's a pretty good left-handed reliever. Remember they signed Nate Eovaldi? He'll probably be ready next year. But you get down toward the bottom, Wilson Ramos, who's getting close, Matt Duffy, Brad Miller, Kevin Kiermaier. Runner goes. Ball's tapped toward Healy. Healy gives ground for a good hop. Long throw. It's in time to get Beckham. So that's the second out. But Wilson Ramos is a middle of the order hitter.
Exactly.
And he tore up his knee at the end of last year playing for the Nationals, but he's getting close. In fact, he's on a rehab assignment right now.
We saw the name Sean Tolleson. He was a closer for the Rangers. Last year at this time. They let him go. Now he has Tommy John surgery.
Rays are still scratching their head with Matt Duffy, who they had surgery on his heel, Achilles heel area. Had that in the offseason. He actually had it at the end of that. Had it in September, and they figured he'll be healthy, and although the plan was he'd be completely ready to go by spring training, he was going to be their everyday shortstop. He hasn't played at all. And he's still having problems with that heel. So that's become something that they just cannot figure out, how to get Matt Duffy on the field. So another run on a couple of hits for the Rays. Now we're headed to the 4th. 5-0 Tampa Bay.
Sunday, June the 18th. 15,000 fans. You got a Marcus Semien starting lineup action figures presented by Ashby Lumber and Humboldt Redwood Company. Get tickets at athletics.com. And get them fast because that's a big weekend series. It's the Yankees in town, and you know the Yankees nation, like the Red Sox nation, will be there. Will loves the ice.
Will's made the trip.
Wow.
From the right field bleachers to Tropicana Field. He's been on the plane all day. He's hungry. That will not be his first trip to the concession stand. But he's a good fan.
Right field will. Where's his flag, banners, and all? Oh, it's banner day between the games tomorrow. He'll probably have his banner out here.
Right now, the only thing he's holding tightly onto is that ice cream cone. Because it's clear that he hasn't eaten anything since he left the Oakland airport early this morning.
I hope that was dessert. Chicken in the waffle cone. Maybe he's.
Look at, they're talking about you, Will. You know that's exactly what's going on. 2-1 to Matt Joyce.
I'd probably say get the ice cream off your beard.
It's not even ice cream.
Right field will.
Matt Joyce skies one toward the rings. Did it hit it? I don't know. Did that hit the ring?
I don't know.
That's the problem. We don't know.
We don't know exactly. Evidently, Kevin Kiermaier didn't know it either the other day. Misjudged one. They gave it a home run. Didn't hit one.
Give it a home run. What? Wait, what?
When it
so
died,
just
give him a home run. Yeah.
Give him a home run. What the heck? Yeah, it's part of the thrill of coming to Tropicana Field is trying to figure out the I guess they're called ground rules, but they're the ring rules. Check this out. This is the rules for the rings. I mean, you need like 3 minutes to read. You need a half an inning to read it.
Well, why don't you start A, B, C, D instead
well,
of
that's basically where it comes from.
BCBA, I know.
I'm just going to let our viewers read it and try to figure it out.
But just leave it up there to Larry. Yeah, take it.
Oh, man. That one is hit to center. Smith is there, so Joyce is retired. Basically, the C ring and the D ring, which are the lower ones. Yeah. If they hit those, it's a home run. But if they hit the higher ones, which are the A and B rings, those are very, very high, but they do get hit. Then the ball's basically in play. So you got to be ready to hit to make a play.
Catch it on the carom.
Yeah. Also have caveat to the rule: if the ball hits one of those catwalks over foul territory, then it's a dead ball. So how'd you like to be an umpire here?
Just as long as they know the rules, that's all that matters.
So you have to look up and you have to decide if it hits the catwalk, and then you have to decide, is it fair or foul? Because if it's fair, it's in play. If it's
what if it sticks up there?
If they deem that it hit the catwalk in foul territory, then it's a dead ball.
What if it stays up in the catwalk?
If it stays in the catwalk, it's 2 bases. It's unbelievable. Yep, that is in line with the foul pole down the left field line. You think we're making this stuff up? Look, there it is. Can't make this stuff up, Ray.
Wow, that's impressive.
And that one is belted toward right field. Souza's back, and that one is off the top of the wall. Lowry's hustling for second, and he's going to make it with a double. So Lowry has another double, his 19th of the year.
Well, get under a little bit. It's a home run instead of the top spin, and run hard because it did not hit above the yellow line. And hit right below it, and that's why Souza got the ball back in. He has a very strong arm. You see where the ball landed, about a foot from being a home run. Jed Lowry with a 2-strike double to right field in scoring position. So the A's finally at least get a man in scoring position. First time tonight.
See if they can get him in. Here's Chris Davis, who walked in the second inning. First pitch is a fastball on the outside corner for a strike.
See, the first at bat to Chris Davis, that's surprising when he walked him on a fastball in, because that pitch, little two-seamer, started outside, got a couple of strikes, and then on 3-2 tried to go inside. Chris did not offer, ended up walking him to lead off the second inning.
Walked to lead off the inning, but the A's could not move him at all. Davis with runners in scoring position this year, just a 167 average. Missed again, so now it's 2-1.
It's almost like Cobb wants to quick pitch out of the stretch. A lot quicker, hardly comes to a set position, set what you have to do as a pitcher. The way the ball carries here, Chris Davis can get one airborne. You never know how far it's going to go.
This one's hit in the air toward right field. Souza comes in, and Chris Davis got a pretty good pitch to hit there.
Yes, he did.
So he's retired. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning.
Well, you're right, Kevin. A breaking ball right in the center of the plate. And as it came in, it just enough that kind of like a scud, really didn't leave his bat very strongly.
So here's Yonder Alonso, see if he can drive home the A's first run. Alonso struck out in the second. 2 strikeouts for Cobb. First pitch not close.
Sure, Yonder's looking forward to the second part of this 2-city trip to Miami. He gets to go home. Spend the off day there.
Yeah. Yonder saw the schedule come out. Yeah. He saw that off day in Miami and said, thank you very much.
So did Darren Bush. Darren Bush, of course, about an hour and a half from here, got a chance to go home for the off day. Checked in today, and he'll do the same after the game on Sunday. Spend the off day at home and come into Miami. Got in time to celebrate his son's 10th birthday.
Perfect. One and 2 to Alonso.
Staying away from Alonso. That was a two-seamer, and he struck out on a split in his first at bat. Watch this ball just take off away from him.
Runs a fastball in. So let's see Cobb and how he works. He's got a pretty good idea what he's doing out there. Ryan Healy would be next. One bounce to the right side. Morrison has it. Underhands to Cobb, side retired. So the A's strand Lowry at second base. Bottom of the 4th coming up. 5-0 to Rays lead.
on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Caltrans Stormwater. Keep our highways clean. Protect our water. ProtectEveryDrop.com.
To look outside Tropicana Field. Inside, the Mays fans have come out to cheer on their team wearing the gold jerseys. The team is wearing the green jerseys with the gray pants. Jesus Sucre to lead it off. This one is tapped and it's just foul. So as I look at my scorecard, Ray, I would say that Andrew Triggs needs a quick inning.
About three of them.
My card's busy, especially on the Rays side.
Yeah, too busy.
He's thrown 74 pitches. Now 3 base runners in the first, 3 base runners in the second, 2 base runners in the third. The Rays have scored in every inning.
Well, let's hope the old saying about the more the pitcher pitches, the more tired he gets and the ball starts to sing better.
That's right. That theory does work sometimes.
It does work, but unfortunately, pitchers who have that man counting the pitches, Kurt Young, they don't get a chance to get tired because they're out. And that's right there the problem. That too many of the foul balls are occurring instead of a put away pitch.
In the dirt, 1-2. Rangers have a 3-0 lead over the Nationals after 5 innings in Washington, D.C. Line drive, right center field. That's a hit. Joyce has to get over there to cut it off. He does. So the 9th place hitter, Jesus Sucre, now has a double and a single.
Location, location. We talked earlier about the location. Watch where this pitch is. This is not a chase pitch. This is a hittable pitch. Center cut, slider stayed right there, and the fact that it's above the belt makes it even better to hit. So it's maybe a little bit of tiredness for Andrew Triggs, even though he had a full week in between starts.
Now to the top of the order, and Malik Smith. That's blocked by Vogt. Stephen Vogt's getting a major workout tonight.
And that's exactly right, Cat. Moving to his right and just trying to keep the ball from going past. Sucre is not really a threat to steal. So keeping him at first base keeps the double play in order.
In the air to right field. Joyce is going back. He's at the wall, and it is gone. Have a night, Malik Smith.
You don't expect somebody who doesn't have a home run to hit one, but he just did. A slider coming right into his wheelhouse. And nice swing from the speedster. 3 stolen bases, career high. Now he adds a home run on top of it. So you're right. 2 runs driven in. Scored a couple. 3 stolen bases. It's just the 4th inning.
So 7-0 the Rays lead. Here's Corey Dickerson. Takes outside.
Zach Neal, 36. If it's 36, it's Zach Neal. He's would be the long man, and that is Zach. He's a real long man in Oakland.
That was not the first major league home run for Malik Smith. He was with the Braves last year, and he hit 3.
Well, it's that kind of pitch. He's going to hit 30. that was a good hitter's pitch, and Stephen Vogt giving himself a breather going to the mound. He is trying to calm down his pitcher, but also catch a breather and said, "You're working me hard, Smalls."
Remember Malik Smith? He was originally with the Padres, and then he was traded. He was in the trade for Justin Upton, so he went to the Braves. And then this offseason, the Mariners, the Rays, and the Braves made kind of a 3-team deal, but it was the next day, and it ended up the Mariners got Drew Smyly.
Yeah.
And that's who they really wanted. And when it was all said and done, the Rays ended up with Malik Smith. That's how he was in the big leagues last year with the Braves.
Well,
so Malik Smith was a Mariner for a day,
yeah.
and then traded here.
It's like Escobar and Edwin Encarnacion. That didn't even show up in Oakland, but you see him, and you see hitters not as often now, but he had a binder that he was writing notes into on the bench as we had the shot of him in the dugout. But then he finished his writing, put it away, and it could very easily be a sequence of pitches in which he saw from Andrew Triggs, slider that hit for a home run, or maybe just getting ready for arbitration. You never know.
Either way, it's a good idea.
The late Tony Gwynn used to always watch videos of his hitting, but never looked at a bad swing. He said, I want to reinforce the good ones, and he always looked at the positive hits, and he had a whole bunch of them.
Correa breaks his bat, hits one over the mound. Lowry has it on the first, 2 away.
But if all the hitters tonight were like Longoria, the A's would have a good chance. But strikeout and weak ground ball to second twice. But just when you think you've got him, that's when he unloads.
Morrison walked and scored in the first, hit a fly ball to left field in the third. First pitch is hit hard, just foul down the first baseline. Angels lead the Astros early, 1-0 in the second inning. That is the start of a series down in Houston. Shoemaker and Peacock.
Shoemaker is the one that takes more time in between pitches than anybody. He's the top of that list we showed tonight.
He's on our list, Ray. That one's hit to right, and that's hit well. And that's gone. Line drive home run, and it's 8-0. The Rays lead.
Wow. And Bob Melvin is going to his bullpen. That was a rocket. That is a first for Andrew Triggs, his first game, giving up 3 home runs.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. So Andrew Triggs knocked around tonight here in St. Petersburg. Neal coming in.
14th for our annual Bark at the Park event. It's presented by Evaderm Natural and Nalabone. The free samples for dogs, a pregame pet parade, and so much more. Purchase your special ticket for this event now. Space is limited, so act quickly. For information and tickets, visit athletics.com/bark to register today. 14th is right after the All-Star break. That would be Cleveland Indians in town for a weekend series. Andrew Triggs, not a particularly great outing for him. 88 pitches in back-to-back games in which he's gone 3 2/3 innings.
So here is Neal. So correct me if I'm wrong, Ray. So the last start, Neal took over for Triggs after 3 2/3.
That's
Is
right.
that correct?
That's right. How many? He was pitching on fumes.
Yeah, he was.
He pitched a long time.
Went 3 1/3 against the Nationals, did Zach Neal.
Yeah, that was a case where his sinker stopped sinking the longer he pitched, and he's a good sinker ball pitcher.
So Neal looking for a bounce back performance as he faces Steven Souza. Eight hits and 9 runs. 8 runs and 9 hits, excuse me, for the Rays. So we're seeing tonight what makes the Rays good. The home run.
Yeah.
3 tonight, and they now have 95 on the year. Coming into this, Ray, the Astros led the American League with 95 home runs hit, and the Rays were second with 92, but now they have caught the Astros in home runs hit.
Well, the 2 walks for Andrew Triggs both scored, so the 3 home runs, the most he's given up.
Well, they are indeed tied now because the Astros have not scored a run in their game just yet. They're just starting. Yankees with 90, A's with 87. A 3-run homer, a 2-run homer, and a solo shot. Now, if they get the other kind of home run,
we don't want
it's
that.
going to be a bad night.
Yeah,
it's already
a bad night. 8 0 in the 4th inning. First game of a 4-game series, and you know Zach Neal, unfortunately, needs to give the A's some innings.
And that one hit very high to left field. Brugman looks, can't find it, and now it lands near the base of the wall. It's rolling around at the base of the wall. Souza's going to stop at third. I'm telling you, folks, when the ball gets up that high and it gets that close to those catwalks, it's extremely difficult for an outfielder. And I wonder if Bregman may have lost it momentarily.
It's a very good chance. And he's watching their diamond vision, and now they're going to check and see if it did hit a ring, because maybe Brugman, the reason he didn't catch it because it hit something. But if it hits up there and it's over the stands, it's a home run. If it came, I think it hit something. I think it hit a ring.
So then you have to decide which ring did it hit.
And I think it was the one that was the, let's see, yeah, not the one that's out. The one that's
I think the one that it hit
is in play.
Is considered one of the 2 upper rings, and that means it's in play.
It's in play. Yeah, yeah, good luck following the ball.
There's the ball, all right.
But it's up high enough and hit that ring probably. Kevin Cash is going to ask, but
well, it's hard. It's hard to see, but if that's the ring it hit, then that is considered, I guess, the B ring, and that means it's in play.
Right.
It's not a home run. But again, I mean, this is what makes life difficult in this ballpark. So they're going to look at it. Watch the upper left-hand corner.
yeah, right.
Wow.
Could you put a circle around it, guys? I think it hit the ring and came straight down, and I think that's why Brugman reacted the way he did. Yeah, good look at New York. Did you ever see it?
I did not see it.
I didn't see it either.
I did not see it.
But
so this is the rule. Now, any fair ball that hits the C or D ring is a homer. Now, the C and the D ring are the two ones closest to the field, or lowest, okay? A fair ball that hits the A or B ring is in play. The A and B rings are the ones that are furthest away, the highest two. So that's the best we can explain it to you, folks. You'd have to kind of be inside the ballpark and see the four rings that are holding up really the roof. But there's four rings, and they're considered A, B, C, and D.
And now we know why they want a new stadium.
One of many reasons.
Well, Brugman's reaction was one of, this is my first game in the big leagues, and it's here. And it hit something and came down the way it did, and he awkwardly went at it. He went at it like he thought, it looked like he had not seen the ball, and it came down, but I think it changed direction as it came down to him, which means it might have been out of the park, hit a ring and came down, stayed in play.
So it's either going to be in play, which means it's going to be a triple, or it's going to be a home run.
Right. And this may be the case where they say in New York they can take as much time as they want because they may be trying to find the ball.
Well, and quite frankly, well, here's the call. Let's see.
Third base triple.
So if it did hit the ring we think it hit, then it would be in play, and that's what it was, and it's a triple.
Well, he's got a homer, a single, and a triple, which means that he's a double away from Vince Catronia's favorite part.
You know what else doesn't help Ray either is that the color of the roof is the color of a rubbed up baseball.
Exactly.
And I know we've said that many times when we come here, but it's the fact is that makes it difficult to see. Rasmus swings and misses. So a triple for Souza.
And it was high, and it must have hit the ring and come straight down, which the ball is in play, which that's one of the problems in back and the foul ball that can hit a ring and stay in play. I've seen catchers go back and the ball comes back towards the infield.
One the count to Rasmus, who has hit a fly ball to left, and he has an RBI single. Tap toward first. Alonso has it. Steps on the bag. Side retired. So 3 more runs for the Rays as they're rolling along. 5-0 or 8-0 Tampa Bay. some good stories around Major League Baseball this year. One of them is the Colorado Rockies. Look at their record. 40-23 as they went into Wrigley Field and won today 5-3. So they are now 40-23. Unbelievable. Cardinals, they let Johnny Peralta go as the Cardinals are really struggling. And the Rangers behind Andrew Kastner lead the Nationals. It's now 4-0 in the 6th inning. Jonathan Lucroy with 3 RBIs.
Well, the Cardinals make a lot of changes.
Yeah, you know what? I got to be honest with you. I keep track of both leagues like you do. I didn't realize that they were struggling that bad.
I know.
They've lost 7 in a row and not scoring runs. But you know what, Ray? How about this? So the Cardinals 7 in a row, 26-32. They're 4.5 games out of first place.
Bill Miller took a leave of absence. So I mean, John Mozeliak, the general manager, said everybody's got to be responsible, and so who knows what's going to happen.
Johnny Peralta had some good years
yes,
there.
He did.
He just was not playing a lot. But it's interesting, Ray, if you look around baseball right now, there's some teams that have turned things around, and I think what they're hoping is that their organization is now on an upswing, starting with the Colorado Rockies, who are just having a great year. But the Rockies are in first place. The Milwaukee Brewers are in first place. Of course, the Astros are having a great season. The Twins are in first place. Twins with a 1.5 lead over the Indians, 2.5 over the Tigers in the AL Central. Pop up foul territory. Lawson over and he cannot quite get it. So the vendor says, I'll take it. Get back to working.
And if you tip me well, I'll give you a baseball.
Yeah, maybe. But you better tip me really well. Look at that young lady. She's like, come on, man. I don't want it.
But if he's selling an adult beverage, she's not going to be able to partake.
No, she said the right thing. She probably said please. Oof. That hit Healy. Healy fires the bat. He's going to head to first base. So leadoff runner aboard for the A's here in the 5th inning. Really shaking his right hand.
Well, maybe when he hits a home run, he won't hit Chip Hale's hand so hard.
Not right now.
Dislocated. That's hands are always tough. So many small bones, and seems to be all right.
So it looks like he's okay. And here's Stephen Vogt. First pitch to Vogt is a touch outside. Of course, Vogt started his professional career as a Ray.
Yep. Started his career for what, 32. First major league hit was a home run with the A's.
He wore the Rays uniform in 2012 for 18 games. Drives this one toward left center. And Stephen Vogt was a 12th round pick in 2007 of these Rays. Spent quite a bit of time in the minor leagues. Is now a 2-time All-Star. How about that?
Well, his wife Alyssa and 3 kids are here with him, of course, coming back to where it all started for them. He's thinking about his night tonight, blocking all the pitchers in the dirt. He took the 3 kids out for breakfast. That includes a daughter, a son, and a baby. Had them for breakfast, and then to come out tonight. Of course, he comes to the park early, like most of them do.
Nobody's going to get this one.
Do you know this gentleman by the name of Sharice Wright, who's with his football?
Is he the guy that took the
Uber
drive? Yeah, I've read about it.
Chicago to Orchard Park, New York for a workout. He's a 7-year veteran. It cost him
That's right. His flight got canceled. Right?
$632 for Uber with a $300 tip, because he was the leader of the team and he wanted to be there for the 7 a.m. So he had somebody drive him all night to get there.
I like him.
I
don't know anything about him except that.
But that's pretty special. He got there for a 7 a.m. It was a voluntary, not even mandatory. It's voluntary. And he said, I'm a leader, 7 years. He arrived at 6:57 a.m.
So who's more of a gamer, him or the Uber driver?
He slept.
Can you take me to Orchard Park? What?
Well, I'm sure the Uber driver had to be having
it. Orchard Park?
Yeah, Orchard Park, New York from Chicago. His connecting flight was delayed, so he jumped in a car and said that's the fastest way to get there. It was pretty special. And I think also for Phil Nicholson this weekend to miss a major to be at his daughter's graduation.
Good for him.
Yeah, and she's given the commencement address, so he's given up a major tournament to be there this weekend. That's pretty special.
He'll play in another major tournament.
Oh, a few. Yeah, a few. And he'll win a few, too.
Strike 3 called right on the outside corner. Perfect pitch by Alex Cobb.
Well, he didn't get a pitch like he did his first at bat to hit the ball to right field, but there's this a two-seamer. See how it comes back, and that's going to freeze a lot of right-hand hitters. Again, that's why it's surprising that Chris Davis didn't get a steady diet of those pitches, but were called strikes.
We haven't talked a lot about Alex Cobb, Ray, but his name pops up in trade talks all the time with the Rays. I mean, a lot of the Rays young pitchers do. Here's Jacob Bruckman. Bruckman takes a little bit low. Bruckman hit a fly ball to left field in the third.
And experienced the catwalk.
Yes, he did. Swing and a miss. Fastball running in a little bit on Bruckman. Well, again, that's mom and dad right there. And that's
granddaughter with a cell phone.
That's right. Jacob's wife in the light blue shirt.
She didn't get much sleep.
Right. She's not yawning like I'm tired. She's yawning like she's nervous. Line drive, but foul. Spun on that one. So the count 1-2.
Just a little too quick with the top hand.
So 1-2 the count. Bruckman looking for his first big league hit. He lays off a pitch that was in the dirt. Good take.
Well, you'd like to get your hit sooner than later, and this is a breaking ball that a lot of kids would have been swinging at aggressively, but very strong arms to be able to hold up on his swing. Throw him a fastball, Sue Craig. Give him 1-1.
Bruckman with Nashville, 288 with a homer and 8 RBIs in 33 games.
Nice ball there. Leave it over the plate.
Got one to hit and popped it up toward left. Rasmus near the line. He grabs it side, retired. So a runner left. We're going to the bottom of the 5th. All Rays tonight. 8-0. They lead the A's.
NBC Sports California is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. Mind-blowing, hair-raising action. Heck, that's just getting out of the house. We've got an antidote. Free heritage events at Roaring Camp.
Well, nighttime now here in St. Petersburg. Rays leading 8-0. Those are real Rays. Be careful, youngsters. It was out in deep right center field.
I wouldn't put my hands in. Those are real Rays, man. Those are real.
So it's a pool, but it's not a pool like in Arizona. The pool in Arizona has human beings. Beckham drives one to center. That's hit well. Davis at the wall. Tim Beckham homers, and it's 9-0 Rays.
Well, straightaway center field, and a sinker that you'd like to see a hitter hit on top of it, and instead Beckham got under it in straightaway center. Wow. Stephen Vogt's close. Might put a bat on and get catcher's interference and prevent the ball from leaving the yard.
Oh, that wasn't a cheapie either.
No. Right into Rajay's glove.
1-1 to Daniel Robertson. So 4 home runs in the first 5 innings by the Rays tonight. That could be trouble. Right field line. Diving attempt by Joyce. Can't get it. Rolls past him down the right field line. Robertson's going to get third easily. So it'll be a triple. Joyce came hustling over. He dove for it, and once he missed it, you knew it was going to be trouble.
You've got to catch it, otherwise it's going to end up at least a triple and almost an inside the park home run. The slider that was left up, and Robertson, one of those swings, did not know where it was initially. Took off with it towards the foul line. And, well, sometimes you just have to say it's going to be a base hit. I'm not going to make an attempt, because if I miss it, which he really wasn't close, and that's the ground up tires that coming up out of the turf.
Here's Sucre. Infield comes halfway in, not all the way. Back a little bit on the left side of the infield. Healy and Pinder about halfway. Lowry is up close at second. Fastball in, and it's 1-1. Sucre's had a big night. He doubled in a run in the second, and then he singled and scored in the fourth. 12 hits now for the Rays.
And Kai, one thing the A's need to do, this is going to be scoring for the Rays in every inning through the first 5. And it is hard and very rare to score in every inning. But so far, the Rays have.
Hits just keep coming. Robertson scores. Sucre is 3 for 3, and it's now 10-0.
Sucre into the game 224 with a couple of home runs, 15 driven in, 3 hits, pulled the hands in, and Kurt Young might be saying to his pitcher Zach Neal, and he said it the last time he pitched last week, although moving around the bullpen, but Zach Neal was told pretty much in his last start, it's you. And maybe said the same thing tonight.
Well, it's a tough spot, and again, the A's right now have 8 relievers. They're going to get another reliever tomorrow, so they will have 9 relievers for the doubleheader. But it is still a doubleheader in one day.
That's
I mean,
right.
So you don't like to see this happen.
And it's killing that man.
Oh my gosh.
Bob Melvin does not like to lose, and to be down 10-0 in the 5th inning with nobody out.
On the top of the order, Malik Smith, who's been the hitting star tonight. Smith is 2 for 2. He's got a homer, a single, a walk, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored, 3 stolen bases. Second player in race history with a home run and 3 stolen bases in the same game.
If he can get 142 million like Carl Crawford, he'll be just fine. From the Red Sox.
This is what he did in the 4th inning, a 2-run shot.
This is the home run that was crushed, the breaking ball right into his wheelhouse.
So 0-2. Pretty good 0-2 pitch by Neal, just off the plate.
Well, thinking about the doubleheader tomorrow, of course, the A's have the number of relievers. You don't like to think about it, but a game that's a blowout, you either waste a pitcher.
Now he's going to go to second, and it's thrown away. So everybody's safe.
And he only went to second because Sucre was running, the catcher. Figured he did not have a chance to get Smith, but a very difficult play for both Jed Lowry and Chad Pinder, shortstop. Pulled the ball, and right there, just go to first, but he booked a second, thinking they had a chance to get the lead runner. And the throw going right over the runner going in. What do you say, Jeff? Fielder's choice, huh?
So no air on the play, just the fielder's choice. So still nobody out. And now Corey Dickerson steps up. The scary part about this game is obviously the Rays 10 runs and 13 hits. It's the 5th inning. Their 2 best hitters, Dickerson and Longoria, do not have a hit until now. Gone. That's a 3-run shot, and it's 13-0. The Rays lead.
Wow. Well, just as you said it, Dickerson got the low fastball. Sinker's just not sinking very much. They're getting under the pitches from Zach Neal. And that is 5 consecutive base runners on and 2 3-run home runs. Wow.
5 home runs total.
5 home runs.
So 5 runs in this inning, and it's 13-0 in the bottom of the 5th. So 5 home runs allowed tonight, 19 home runs allowed in the last 8 games by A's pitchers. And for the Rays, they have hit 46 home runs in their last 22 games. So over 2 per game on average.
Well, 5 tonight helps that average.
It definitely helps. Yeah. 2-2 now to Longoria, who's 0 for 3. Strikeout and 2 ground balls to second for Longoria.
Way back in the 1st inning, when Longoria struck out and runner at second base, Morrison's up pitching him carefully. That's when it looked good.
Longoria's the only Ray to not have a hit. So he's not happy about that, and it will continue. That's the first out here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
He might tell Kevin Cash, get me out of here. I've seen enough. I've done enough. Well, one of the better sinkers thrown by Zach Neal, down and in, starts it in, just down sharply, down and in, gets a strikeout.
So with 1 away, here's Logan Morrison. First pitch to Morrison, swing and a miss. Morrison homered in the 4th, his 17th of the year. Blue Jays and the Mariners will open a series tonight up in Seattle. Biagini for the Blue Jays and Gaviglio for the Mariners. Mariners playing well. They have won 9 out of 11. They're 1 game under 500. And that's where that, as we talked earlier about that, with that second wild card. The Mariners are 2.5 games out of the second wild card. And so they're trying to get healthy. But as they're trying to get healthy, they're playing well. And get their pitching staff put back together. Two and 1 to Logan Morrison. The Rays always swing hard, kind of let it rip, and they're really going to do it now. Morrison also, I mentioned, walked back in the first and scored. Both sets up outside. Came back over toward the middle of the plate.
Well, a year ago, Morrison could not buy a hit, a run batted in, a home run, and now a lot of confidence in the young man. Lomo, as they call him, 17 home runs on June the 9th. Sometimes signing those one-year contracts just to get a chance to play turns out to be pretty good.
Strike 3 called on the inside corner for out number 2. So here's Souza, the 8th man to hit in this inning.
A little sweeping breaking ball and catch out of the plate. This is just the 5th inning. Souza just needs a double for the cycle. And he might be.
He's going to get this at bat and another one unless he's taken out of the game. First pitch, a fastball for a strike at 90 miles an hour from Neal. Hit very hard but foul. Souza is a big guy, and the Rays liked him a couple of years ago. Got him in a trade. Last cycle for the Rays was Melvin Upton Jr. against the Yankees back in 2009.
Better known as BJ here. That was BJ.
Just a touch outside, but a pretty good pitch. Souza was originally with the Washington Nationals, part of that big 3-team trade. That was the trade that Trey Turner was involved in.
Well, back-to-back slider. Stephen Vogt has wanted a sinker outside. He might get it here. Just see what Souza does with it. Slider. And when you're going well, he found that tough pitch off, and he just did it.
Will Myers was the big name that the Rays lost in that big trade, which was in December of 2014. So this is the 3rd year for Souza here with the Rays.
Remember when James Shields and Wade Davis were traded to Kansas City? That was the Myers one. Didn't Myers start with them? He came here and ended up in San Diego. But so some pretty good players have come through Tampa Bay onto other teams, and of course in a low market stadium they not draw a lot of people.
Souza stands 6'4", weighs 225 pounds.
Runs well for a big man, as he showed on the triple, thinking inside the park home run.
You see kind of a thin crowd tonight. Could have been a strike. 3-2.
Maybe Jeff Nelson realizes he needs just a double for a cycle. Two-seamer just did not come back enough for the umpire.
So the payoff pitch to Souza, here it is. Foul at home plate. So homer, single, triple for Souza.
On the 10th pitch in the at-bat. Make it the 9th pitch. Just got Stephen Vogt someplace. Somewhere in the stands tonight, his son Clark is saying, "Come on, Daddy. Don't be hit so much."
Not right now, son. What a play by Healy on the backhand. Gets up, throws across in time to get the speedy Souza side retired. So a big inning for the Rays. They score 5 times, hit a couple of home runs. 13-0 Tampa Bay.
Mobile app for live Oakland A's baseball. You can stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get A's home screen icons and app features, as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, StatCast news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat today. Wonder how Will's doing.
Not good. Alex Cobb's doing fine. He's got a little bit of run support. Walked 1, struck out 3. About to throw his 79th pitch. We started talking a little bit about Cabre and the fact that his name comes up in trade rumors a lot. He's going to be a free agent after this year. If he can stay healthy, he's a pretty good pitcher. He had Tommy John surgery. He missed all of the 2015 season. And he really did not come back until the end of last year. Made a handful of starts at the end of the year. Showed he was healthy.
And what happens in those cases, that's time on the big league roster.
Yeah.
And so you get time.
Any time.
Yeah, service time, which allows him to be a free agent in a year. And from the Rays standpoint, they hope he pitches well, that maybe they would trade him. But otherwise, for him, if he pitches well throughout the season, the Rays stay in contention. They may keep him. But he's got to prove that he's healthy if he's going to get any kind of a long-term contract.
He's 29 years old. Got a career record of 40 and 30. He's not going to be your #1 starter, maybe not even your #2, but he's not a bad mid-rotation guy. And Cash probably doesn't want him to get traded. This one hit high and fouled on the right field line by Rod Davis. Cobb was a 4th round pick of these Rays back in 2006, so he's been around a while. Happy youngster.
That's a nice play.
Who needs a glove?
Came straight from the beach. Made to play.
Fastball. Rajay Davis swings and misses. Strikeout number 4 for Cobb.
Now, Rajay had a good day on Wednesday. Had a good series against the Blue Jays. Got on base and caused some havoc. But tonight, 0 for 3. Of course, he's not alone. A's only 2 hits all night. And they got the double by Jed Lowry. Could not bring him in. They've only had Lowry in scoring position all night.
So here's Matt Joyce. Breaking ball snaps in on the inside corner. Matt Joyce was originally a Detroit Tiger. When he came to the Rays in a straight up deal for Edwin Jackson. It was in 2008. He was the Rays regular outfielder for 4 straight years. He strikes out there, and Cobb paints the inside corner. Joyce can't believe it.
How about that sequence? A breaking ball in, breaking door, back door, 2-seam fastball, inside corner. Look at the finished pitch.
Maybe not a strike.
Probably not. Type of game, I think you should probably swing the bat. Forget about knowing the strike zone.
First pitch to Lowry is low. So a doubleheader tomorrow. You ready for that, Ray?
Absolutely. Let's play 2, Ernie. So rare for a regularly scheduled doubleheader. I mean, the A's had one in Minnesota. I think they had one at the Coliseum, but the Rays trying to get a little bit better attendance. Figured might as well have 2 for the price of 1.
I read today where it's the first regularly scheduled doubleheader in the big league since 2011. And there's always some because of rainouts. Right. Obviously, we've had a couple of those. Driven toward left center. That's hit well. Malik Smith is back, and it is off the wall. Smith drops it. Lowry will go to second stop there. So it's going to be another double for Jed Lowry. He is a doubles machine this year. So Lowry gets his second double, and that'll bring up Chris Davis. So 2 games tomorrow. Second scheduled doubleheader in the last 2 decades in the majors. So there you go. The last one was the Angels at the A's in 2011. Only the second doubleheader in Tropicana Field history. Got to go all the way back to 2004. There you go, Ray. 4 games in the span of approximately 45 hours.
That's it.
You know what? I don't mind a doubleheader, as long as it's not a day-night double. Day-night doubleheader, it's a long day.
Yeah.
But this, what are they saying? 35, 40 minutes.
They're saying 40. They want to have some sort of parade and festivities or something between games.
Down the right field line, that could get down, and it will. Bounces off the wall, and it's going to be an RBI single when it's all said and done for Chris Davis as Lowry gets home to score. So the A's are on the board as Chris Davis gets his 39th RBI.
Well, the way Souza played it off the wall, good idea by not trying to go for 2 because it got to the right field wall so quickly. Souza barehanded off the wall, got it back in. He has a very strong arm. So the A's first run will not be shut out. Watch Souza play this ball perfectly. Boom. So the A's get a hit with runner in scoring position.
So that'll bring up Yonder Alonso. Swing and a miss.
Well, that's the pitch outside for Chris Davis, and that is what he's able to do so well. Tremendous power to the opposite field.
Alonso has struck out and grounded out. The pitchers tomorrow: in game 1 it'll be Sonny Gray and Erasmo Ramirez. In game 2 it'll be Sean Manaea and Matt Andriese. Hit well to left center. Rasmus back, Smith back, and Rasmus stepped in front of the warning track, makes the catch. Side retired. A's get on the board. Run on 2 hits, 13-1 as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
The San Mateo County Fair, June 10th through the 18th.
So the Rays leading 13-1. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. Zach Neal, inning and a third so far. Triggs 3 2/3 innings, gave up 8 earned runs. Neal at 43 pitches as he faces Rasmus, Beckham, and Robertson. This pitch is a slider inside. Rasmus is 1 for 3. He had an RBI hit in the 3rd. Ryan Garton, a right-hander, starts to throw, so a little action in the Rays bullpen. Swing and a miss, 1-1.
So you have to throw strikes here, because if you airmail one past the catcher, it comes all the way down to home plate.
That's true.
So it doesn't go the opposite direction where you can kill time. You just throw it towards home plate.
The A's bullpen goes the other way.
And it is quiet. So Zach Neal, it's your game. Looking at Zach Neal's number 36, I was thinking of one Bobby Witt. Happens to be his father.
That's right. How about that?
Bobby,
maybe that's why he's wearing it.
Well, I asked him about it. And he said, no, it's just a coincidence. He said, but I remembered he wore 36. I said, yeah, for the A's. High fastball. Forget about the low sinker. And his bride at University of Oklahoma, where they were going to school, got married this offseason.
Bobby Witt.
Yep, Bobby Witt had a near perfect game. A bunt late in the game. And in today's world, just like Galarraga, it'd have been a perfect game, because it was Greg Gagne, somebody with the Twins, bunted. He was called safe and he was out. And if they would have challenged it, it'd have been out. They had a perfect game. But same with Galarraga. But that was then. This is now. Different times.
It's that wonderful theory, which I don't buy at all. Well, you know what? Umpire mistakes, part of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you can correct them, then correct them.
Exactly. Just want to get it right.
Human error.
Yeah, just get it right.
Human error, part of the game. Okay. Well. Human error also affects the outcome on the scoreboard.
I think of Colorado, who had the perfect game and last out against the Tribe. Where is he?
He's a good pitcher.
He was, yeah. Denied a perfect game and
softly hit into center field, and another hit for Beckham. Beckham's going to try for second. The throw is out.
You know what? He deserves that.
They may check it. See if they do. Maybe not.
Yeah, good strong throw. Quick tag. So a single, out 8-3. Yeah. Might have been safe.
He was safe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because he went around just like the tag or the play at first base.
Well, that's a tough spot for a manager.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it is 13-1.
Yeah, that's. Yeah.
And you don't want to.
Well, that's why I say
show up the other team. But then again, he was showing up the other team by stretching it into a double.
Exactly. That's the reason that maybe exactly like you said.
Maybe why they're not doing
why they're
it.
not checking it, because he might have gotten a call from his video coordinator and said it's safe. Is it? Well, let's just leave it at that. You know.
One and one the count to Robertson. Scooped up by Healy. And Healy throws in time. Side retired. So nothing for the Rays. In fact, a 0 for the first time. 7th inning coming up.
In style by booking a watches.com suite today. Visit athletics.com/tickets to book your suite. And for all A's fans, receive 20% off your first order at watches.com by using code athletics.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change tune-up and repair experts. As the Rays are going to go to the bullpen here in the 7th inning. They also have wholesale changes, which we'll get to in just a moment. It's Ryan Garten who comes in for just his 7th appearance. Garten, a right-hander, comes in here in the 7th. Cobb goes 6. 6 good innings for Alex Cobb. Ends up with 5 strikeouts. So Garten will face Healy, and then Vogt and Pinder.
And Longoria said, I'm out of here. 0 for 4.
Gotta go.
Triple strikeouts, couple of broken bats to second base, and I'm gone.
First pitch is a fastball, a little bit inside. Healy has hit a fly ball to center field, and he was hit by a pitch. Swing and a miss. And there are the final numbers for Cobb. He threw 96 pitches, and he was pretty good.
Trying to get back to the 500 mark with a 5-5 record. That is Trigg started the game. And unless the A's have a miraculous comeback, he'll be 5-6. 13-1. The A's are trailing.
Toward left center field, Rasmus got another good jump. He makes the catch. Rasmus started his career as a center fielder, and he was pretty good center fielder.
Yes, he was, and boy, what a great jump playing a corner in outfielder. And Rob Rajay Davis, the first hit of the game, and towards the end of the bat, just could not drop quickly enough as Rasmus, tremendous speed, got to it easily. And both plays he's able to make without leaving his feet.
So 1 away here in the 7th inning, and they'll bring up Stephen Vogt. Stephen Vogt has hit a couple of fly balls to center field. Right in there for a strike. Garten is 27 years old. Born in nearby Clearwater. Pitched in 37 games last year for the Rays. And that one is belted to right, and that's hit a ton, and that baby is gone. So Stephen Vogt with home run number 4 on the year, and the A's get their 2nd run. Numbers in the house. So something to cheer about for the A's fans that are here.
And all the hard work blocking balls in the dirt, able to see him get a good fastball and cheat a little bit for 93 after taking a couple of pitches out of the strike zone. Stephen Vogt, first major league hit after leaving the Rays 0 for 32 was that home run. So Stephen Vogt, nice swing. Home run. Makes his family happy. Now see Brugman in this inning as well. Maybe he can get his first hit.
Brugman on deck. Pinder went around, and it's a quick 0-2. Pinder has singled, and he has struck out. Pinder with 7 home runs so far this year. So got 7 doubles. The A's waiting on Marcus Semien, but it's going to be a while yet.
Yes, unfortunately.
Got a ways to go. He's feeling better, Marcus, which is good.
Working hard.
Bat a little bit. You start talking about getting yourself ready to play every day in the big leagues. Need a fair amount of rehab time. And that pitch moving a lot in on Pinder, and he swings and misses. So special pitch from Ryan Garten. The 11th season of the NBC Sports California All-Star Teacher Program is here, recognizing teachers that make a difference. Make sure you visit NBCSportsCalifornia.com and cast your vote. The winner is going to get $20,000 for his or her school. So here's Brugman. Bregman takes a strike in the outside corner. Bregman has hit a couple of fly balls to left field. Bregman, well in the minor leagues in 2014, played in Stockton. Teammates with Ryan Healy, Chad Pinder, and Daniel Robertson. Hustling first, showing off some speed, but comes up just a little short. Bregman 0 for 3 in his big league debut. We have reached the 7th inning stretch from Tropicana Field, and it's all Rays tonight. They lead 13-2. But thanks to Stephen Vogt, he's got a long one tonight.
A's Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by the 2017 Jeep Cherokee with an EPA estimated 30 highway miles per gallon. By Southwest, yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. By AAA, what does your insurance do when it's not doing insurance? It should do more. Go to AAA.com for more details. And by the all-new 2017 Chrysler Pacifica.
Well, the score is not what you want if you're an A's fan. It's 13-2. Stephen Vogt with a home run. Time now for our Jeep drives of the game, and keep your eyes posted here. Here is number 1. That's a big Souza 3-run home run. How about this for the young man Smith? That's number 2. Number 3, Logan Morrison. A line drive. How about Beckham straightaway center field? That was off Zach Neal. And then to top it off, Dickerson, just as my partner said he didn't have a hit, comes up with a 3-run home run.
My fault.
No, of course not.
I knew I shouldn't have said it.
But we were all thinking it and figuring, why has the big guy gotten a hit yet? But it is a Rays night, 13 runs. Adam Rosales in at third base now with Ryan Healy moving over to first. Alonso out.
So here's Jesus Sucre. Sucre has had a big night. A double, 2 singles, 2 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. So there's Rosales now at third. And Healy is the first baseman's mitt, and he's at first. Won the count to Sucre. Peter Borges is in the on-deck circle. He's the new center fielder for Tampa Bay.
Peter Borges could cover some outfield ground. Good speed.
Straightaway defense for Sucre. Puts one toward left. Brugman's back. Brugman jumps up to make the catch for the first down. So Sucre is retired for the first time. And here's Peter Borges.
Well, Peter Borges a lot with the Angels.
Yep.
Tremendous speed.
Borges just off the disabled list. He had, there's the oblique and the lat and the latissimus dorsus, and
Well, got some big ones there, partner.
he had tennis elbow.
Geez, I wanted you to go through all the medical terms.
That's the only ones I could think of. Tennis elbow.
He probably doesn't.
I mean, I'd rather have like one of those big words, because it sounds like it's a,
it's a big
if I
injury.
get a strained lat. Oh, oh man, you got tennis elbow? Borges is the guy who forced Mike Trout to left field, and that's
Momentarily.
and you thought Borges was going to be a really, really good player. Now, he's still a pretty good extra player, but he's really not an everyday player. You're right, terrific speed. He has game-changing speed. To the count. He's glad to have Malik Smith out of the lineup. He was 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored, 3 stolen bases, a 2-run homer. .63 pitches for Zach Neal.
They did that last week too, and it's just tough to come in knowing that you have to eat up some innings, throw a lot of pitches, and
Could have been a strike. Swing and a miss. That one was a strike. A swinging strike. 2 outs. So give Zach Neal some credit after that Dickerson home run. He has settled down.
But it's got a great sinker, and it's not good to see the sinker being elevated and leaving the yard, but since then, and maybe just getting a little bit loose. Sean Manaea, game 2 tomorrow, the doubleheader. He's been on a nice roll.
Yep. Here's Dickerson. Right on the outside corner. Good pitch by Neal. Dickerson with that 3-run homer in the 5th. He now has 14 home runs and 29 runs batted in. It's this one well toward right. Joyce on the move. Joyce is going to get there. He grabs it, and that will do it for the Rays. They go 3 up, 3 down, and we're on to the 8th. 13-2 the Rays lead.
Well, Friday, July the 28th, that would be against the Minnesota Twins. 15,000 fans will receive a G-Eazy bobblehead that plays an audio message from the man himself, all presented by Majestic. This bobblehead features Oakland's own G-Eazy, world's famous rapper and lifelong A's fans. Plus, he will be at the game to throw out the ceremonial first pitch that night. For tickets, visit athletics.com/promotions. G-Eazy. Oh, throw out the first pitch. Big fan.
He's a big fan of you.
You're going to catch the first pitch, guy?
No. Rajay Davis to lead it off.
G-Eazy.
Tap slowly up the third base line, and it's going to trickle foul. Picked up on
Pretty good. You know, MC Hammer bobblehead in 2012. Another rapper. Former general manager of the Oakland Athletics.
At least he didn't trade you, right? Maybe he was the guy who told Charlie to trade for you.
Nope.
See, it's great because I sit next to Ray on the team charter, right? So I'm reading the latest A's book about a team from the 70s, which is really, really good, right?
Jason Turbo.
Jason, terrific job. So I'm about halfway through it, but as I'm reading, I have, not that I need verification, but if there's a good story, I turn and I go to Ray. Hey, Ray, what else happened in this story? And he tells me. So not only am I reading this great book about the A's of the 70s, I have somebody who's in the book sitting right next to me who saw all the things that were happening. So I get the book story, and then I get a little extra from you. Is that not a great way to read a book?
Jason Turbo did a great job.
He did. It's very fun to read.
He said he had 300,000 words on 900 pages. And he said his publisher, nope, got to go down a little bit smaller book.
Would you say, if there's been books written about you know, those teams, obviously, they're interesting to say the least. Is this the best one?
I think so. I've read it completely, and I would say the time that Jason spent with everybody. I mean, he flew all over the country, spent a couple of years interviewing everybody. Bombastic, fantastic. What's the third?
Well, I don't know what the third. I don't remember.
Yeah, but it's a great book. Sorry, Jason, but it is a fantastic book.
Yeah, it's been a fun read. I'm, like I said, about halfway through. And
yeah, he chronicles the 70s, of course, for Charlie. Buying Kansas City, leaving Kansas City, coming to Oakland. And one of the things Charlie did and chronicled in the book was that he had a core group of guys that he had signed in Kansas City that came out to Oakland. And he would tell those guys, give me your money, I'll invest it, you won't lose a penny. And he did, and they didn't. And they made money. But Charlie was a good man. Of course, a lot of good things that he did never really got public. It was more of the negative stuff. But put together 3 world championship clubs back-to-back years is pretty good.
And also, I get the feeling, reading it, that it seemed like for Charlie, every good thing he did, and he did something that wasn't good. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
Just in general.
Yeah.
Can't catch up. Go to the heat. Let's go. Baby.
A little bit outside.
Come on,
so 3-1 now with Rajay Davis aboard, leading off the 8th.
Dynastic, bombastic, fantastic.
Dynastic. That's
yeah, I tried to go alphabetically, but I messed up because I had bombastic first.
So back-to-back walks. So the A's got something going here in the 8th. Make sure you join us tomorrow. It'll be a doubleheader against the Rays. None of this day-night stuff. A regular old doubleheader. Game 1 will be Sonny Gray and Erasmo Ramirez. Game 2, Sean Manaea and Matt Andriese. And we are told there's going to be about 40 minutes between games, and we're going to have both games for you. So if you're ready for it. You don't have anything to do, you can turn on NBC Sports California for a good chunk of the day, and you'll see A's baseball. So we're looking forward to the doubleheader.
Well, I was looking forward to seeing Jim Hickey take a walk to the mound, and there's the longtime pitching coach for the Rays under Joe Madden, and now Kevin Cash. That's a good old jersey there. That's probably Reggie's old jersey. The fantastic part of the bombastic dynastic. Now Jason did a good job on that.
Here's Lowry, 2 on, nobody out. I just finished the Dick Williams going to the Yankees story.
That's right.
Which he never did.
That's right.
He never.
Charlie wouldn't let him.
Would not let him.
Because if you're fired, you can do it. When you quit,
He quit
He
with
retired.
a couple years left on his
right?
contract.
And Charlie said, "Nope." Of course, remember it was Charlie who traded Manny Sanguillen for Chuck Tampa. And of course, since then, Randy Wynn with Lou Piniella coming here, Randy Wynn going to Seattle. So I mean, there are things that have happened, but Charlie did a lot of things in baseball that were fantastic. But like you said, there was always something that would negate all the positive things he did.
One and one the count to Lowry, who's got a couple of doubles and a run scored. So John Lowry just keeps hitting. Now has 20 doubles on the year. Spins inside. So Garten gave up a home run to Vogt in the 7th inning. He walks the first 2 here in the 8th.
Yeah, man, looks like he's got a good arm, but a little bit erratic with his controls. He's walked the first 2 in this inning. See, the A's scored 6 against the Nationals Sunday. Who knows? I mean, this they're only down 11.
In the air, shallow left. Beckham backpedaling. It's going to be Beckham who has it. The infield fly rule is called. Umpires raise one arm or right arm. That's the indication that they are calling infield fly rule. It has to be considered a routine.
Yep.
Pop out.
And you're not gonna be wind blown in here.
No, I don't think so.
No. Hope
Be
not.
something.
Well, if the A's can get Colomé up in this game, they've accomplished something.
Especially with the doubleheader tomorrow.
Colomé, the closer, hard throwing closer for the Rays.
Chris Davis swings and misses. Rangers trying to hang on in the nation's capital. Rangers 5, Nationals 2 in the bottom of the 9th. The Nationals have a couple of runners on. Where Sam Dyson ended up with the Giants.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that, and we saw Sam Dyson the last couple of years. He's pretty darn good. Probably not a bad risk to take on a guy like that.
Well,
He's pretty good.
They DFA'd him, made a trade, and you mentioned Sean Tollison. So we're looking at Tollison. It was a closer. Chris Davis had the walk-off grand slam against him, lost his closer's role, and ends up down here with Tommy John surgery. And Dyson was the closer, what, 38 saves last year with the Rangers, and maybe the Heat got to him. Who knows?
0-2 pitch, and Davis swings and misses.
Shouldn't have a problem with the Heat in San Francisco.
Chris Davis trying to figure out how did he not hit this?
Yeah, because it was right there. It said hit me all over it, and I mean that was a hanger. Remember, in his second at bat, had the hanger that kind of went to right field.
So here's Rosales, his first at bat. He's hitting in Alonso's spot. Swing and a miss. There's the fastball. Got a little late life to it. Angels leading the Astros 5-2, bottom of the 5th inning. Blue Jays and Mariners just about set to start at Safeco Field.
Adam Rosales' next Sandlot Nation will be in Chicago, the next road trip for the A's, as he started the swing, more of a self-defensive swing. Fortunately, did not get a strike called against him.
That one down the left field line. That's going to drop for a hit. It's going to score Rajay Davis. Matt Joyce will go to third. He'll make it. And Adam Rosales with an RBI double to make it 13-3. Kind of lofted it down the left field line.
Well, aggressive swinging by Adam Rosales, and you come into a game with a big lead. You figure you get fastball, as he did. Swung through the first one, almost got hit by the second. This one running in on his hands. Got a little bit of the trademark, but could not get it past Rasmus to drive into, but does able to drive in one. So Adam Rosales with a run scoring double.
And here's Healy. Healy looking for his first hit. Healy has hit a fly ball to center, was hit by a pitch, and a fly ball to left. Swing and a miss. Healy really opened up. Pitch was running in a little bit. Rangers won that game 5-2. Luke Croy with a homer and 3 RBIs. Odor homer. Tashner pitched well, and he got his third win. Went 7 innings. Bush got the save. Well, the Rangers beat a good Nationals team in their ballpark.
It's hard to do. Nationals had a makeup game yesterday against the Orioles. Rain out from a game earlier that they said the Nationals did not want to play, so they had to make up yesterday or last night. Mentioned Matt Bush. This young man Garten throws a little bit like Bush, kind of straight over the top.
And that one to the backstop. So
good.
run's going to come in to score. That'll be Joyce.
And you know what, Ryan?
I think they went as a swing.
Yeah, they probably did. But the good news about Ryan Healy, he did not wait to get the call. He ran. You could always come back if they say no swing. But it was a strikeout, hard curveball. He figured he went far enough. He saw the ball get by, and actually the home plate umpire put his right hand up. You can see, swung, yes, go. And so Sucre could not handle the hard curveball. So here's a big enough swing that Jeff Nelson said he went. So it's a wild pitch, even though, well, first base wasn't occupied, but even if it had been with 2 outs, he could have advanced. So the A's pick up a run on the wild pitch.
So now it's 13-4, runners at the corners, and here's Vogt. Well, trickles with foul toward the Rays dugout, bounces into the Rays dugout. So they're starting to move around, as we like to say, except Danny Farquhar. This is what Stephen Vogt did last inning.
Against Garten, got a fastball. He looked for it, got it, smoked it. 2-1 fastball. Stephen Vogt with his 4th home run. Nice swing by Voter.
Swing foul left side.
As we always say, relievers don't like to come in and give up runs because it hurts their ERA. Something that might be a little bit difficult to get down. So he gave up the home run. He's got a double, a wild pitch, all earned runs, and a 3-run shot. You know, when you get a strikeout and an RBI, or at least a run scores, you know that's good news for the A's. So who knows?
2 pitch is high. So 46 pitches for Garten in an inning and 2/3. Pitches in the dirt, and now it's a full count. On deck is Chad Pinder. Kevin Cash is ready. He's in a sprinter stance.
They didn't do it after a 3-run home run. That would be a fun thing to see the manager head to the pitcher's mound before Voto gets around the bases.
First takes off. The ball's fouled left side again. This one headed for the upper deck and into the upper deck. So we'll do the full count again with Alonso at third. Make that Rosales, excuse me. Rosales is at third. Three-two pitch. Here it is. Again, same spot, upper deck. So we've zoomed past the 3-hour mark.
Zoom, zoom. Jeff did some Googling on Randy Jones. Yeah. 20 years ago, wasn't it? Randy Jones, a game that he pitched 89 minutes.
I love that guy. Borges in center. Now comes in. He's got it inside, retired. He's got a couple of runs. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's now 13-4. The Rays lead the Athletics.
Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Game Center brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 4-6-0 for the A's, 13-15-0 for the Rays. Rays scored in each of the first 5 innings. So Triggs, another tough outing. Andrew Triggs is struggling right now. Alex Cobb was good for the Rays. Offensively, the Rays have hit 5 home runs today. They are a home run hitting team, and we have seen it. So they now have 97 home runs. That's the most in the major leagues. So Michael Martinez, switch hitters. Martinez is in the game playing second base. The gentleman who made the final out, right? World Series.
That's right.
So Martinez hitting in Longoria's spot. He rips one into the glove of Healy. A line out, 1 away.
Hang with him.
5 in a row retired by Zach Neal, so we'll see him settle down a little bit.
Yeah, that's the key, because after After the 3-run home run by Dickerson, he actually has retired every batter. Actually got a base hit, but he was thrown out at second. That was Beckham.
Here's Featherston. His first at bat tonight, and his first at bat as a member of the Rays. He was just acquired from the Philadelphia Phillies. So Featherston with the Angels a little bit, right?
That's right.
A couple years ago.
Second baseman. Just not a name that you quickly forget.
That's a good call. Taylor Featherston.
What? It's probably, he hasn't said to him a few times. What? Feather.
1-1 pitch. Shallow left. Bruckman hustling in, still coming in, and he makes the catch as Pinder gets down into a squat. Be careful, guys. I just told you they played together. So they know each other.
Well, Healy was at third. They almost collided. He went down to his knees, and
Healy was in Stockton.
Exactly. Maybe Brugman's like a magnet. He said, "Just leave it alone, guys. I can see the ball. I can catch the ball. I have the speed. I'm an outfielder. Pinder going out. I got it. I got it." Here comes Brugman saying, "I got it." Then Pinder gets out of the way.
So 2 outs, and here's Souza. So here's his second opportunity for a double, which he needs for the cycle. His last at bat was in the 5th inning. He had a hard ground ball to third that actually Healy made a nice play. He had a backhand it, and if it were to have gotten by Healy, it would have been a double. It was hit hard enough where it probably would have been considered a hit.
And you know what would upset our good friend Vince Controni on the radio side? That's not going to happen.
Lowry got it. Vince Cotroneo is safe. So we're going to the 9th. Last shot for the A's. They trail 13-4.
Job, and what a story has been for him tonight against the Athletics. Of course, a lot of run support early, but he had some good pitches working. You get a big support that he got. 13 runs, actually leading 13-1 when he left after 6 innings. So Alex Cobb, 6 innings, 4 hits, a run. As a Rays and an A's fan together saying, "It's okay, one of us is going to win." Rays with 15 hits and 13 runs. Danny Farquhar will try to close it out for the Rays.
So 31st appearance for Danny Farquhar. But the Mariners, the Rays, the A's have seen him quite a few times, actually. He was in the AL West. First pitch to Pinder is a strike. Farquhar is now 30 years old. Three years in Seattle, second year here in Tampa Bay. So quickly 0-2. Farquhar to Pinder. Brugman to follow, and then Rajai Davis. So 8-9-1 for the A's, trailing 13-4 in game one of this four-game series. Remember, a doubleheader tomorrow.
Well, let's hope when Brugman gets his first major league hit, he can pronounce Farquhar. That will be important because they'll have to make a note of that. First major league hit against a guy named Danny Farquhar.
1-2 pitch. A good fastball from Farquhar, and Pinder strikes out for the third time. So one away, and here's Brugman. Our coverage tomorrow starts with A's pregame live at 10 a.m. And then first pitch for game one of the doubleheader back in the Bay Area will be 11:10. We'll bring you game one, and then between games 1 and 2 it'll be about 40 minutes. Studio will take care of that, get you all caught up what's going on around baseball and the world of sports, and then back to Tropicana Field for game 2. So a busy day tomorrow, but it'd be a good day. Doubleheader A's and Rays. 0-2 to Brugman. Brugman has hit a pair of fly balls to left field. He has grounded to second in his first major league game. 2 pitch, got him swinging. So on 3 pitches, Brugman strikes out. So he's 0 for 4. 2 away here in the ninth.
Well, he's got a good splitter, and he just showed it off. I think Farquhar is, as we said about relievers, he's not going to be concerned about giving up runs and inflating his ERA. Going right after the hitters like it's a 1-run game.
So with 2 away, Rajai Davis steps up. Rajai Davis is 0 for 3. In the 8th inning, he walked and scored. A little bit inside. Foul straight back just to our right. Bounces off the facing of one of the broadcast boosts down the way. A slider from Farquhar, but he just missed. Maybe bent around the inside of the plate. 3-1 to Raj Davis. Now 3-2. Farquhar
doesn't take much time, does it?
I was going to say he is in the minority as far as relievers go.
He's the anti-Alex Cobb.
3-2 pitch inside, and Rajai Davis walks for the second time. So Matt Joyce will get his 5th at bat. Joyce 0 for 3. He walked and scored as well in the 8th inning. Joyce has also struck out twice and hit a fly ball to center field. This one's lifted in the air to right. Shallow right. Souza coming in, and Martinez going out, and Martinez at the last second reaches out and makes the catch, and that's how the ball game comes to an end. So all Rays tonight, and the A's just could not stop them, and they could not keep the Rays from hitting the ball out of the ballpark. So Alex Cobb gets the win. He is now 5-5 on the year, and Andrew Triggs loses his 4th consecutive start. He is now 5-6. 3 hours and 16 minutes was your time of game. The attendance tonight here at Tropicana Field, 13,153. 13-4 is the final. A's post-game live is set to go from the studio. Guys.